instructions on how to make bracelets, earrings and necklaces, and the DVD includes easy to follow video tutorials. So what are you waiting for? Start your jewellery making journey today.
Our brand new Get Started with Jewellery Maker page has been created to provide help and guidance for jewellery making newbies. If you need design suggestions, hints and tips, or help with perfecting your jewellery designs, we're here to help. Head over to facebook.com/getstartedwithjm, where our talented in-house designers are happy to answer your jewellery making questions, offer inspiration, and get you started in your jewellery making journey. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
Good evening everyone, how are we? Welcome to Saturday's Late Show. Well, the weather's cheered up, so I've got the arms out like you do. The hairy gorilla arms are back again. Lovely to have your company. Welcome to Jewellery Maker, or welcome back to Jewellery Maker, because I know you've been there anyway. Thanks to Elle, who's back with you first thing in the morning as well. So bright, loud, live and lovely from, is it 8 o'clock in the morning? 8 o'clock in the morning, that's an early bird call, isn't it, for Sunday morning? But we'll all be up because it's Gemstone weekend. We love our gemstones, as you know. And I've got the belle of the ball with me tonight. Oh yes, Claire Macdonald had a pearl, E-I-E-I-O. Here she is. Hello, my darling.
I like that.
That's 2 in a row for you and me, isn't it?
I know.
But, no doctor's surgery gloves required for tonight. Because we had our Sarah Lynn last time, didn't we?
Yes.
So I was
you did.
snapping on the blue gloves. None of that
I might
tonight.
have some if you I'll
If
have to have a look.
If I feel the urge a bit later. What you have got though is an amazing kit at 9 o'clock. I have to say, for the last 24 hours, in fact slightly longer, we've had on preview on Facebook and on Twitter your spectacular necklace. This is from the 9 o'clock kit coming up tonight with 5 meters of black freshwater pearls coming up for you. It's one of the most spectacular kits. Can I tell you a piece of information you need to know right now about that kit at 9 o'clock? The pearl strand on its own in that kit, we just had a look. It's never aired on its own, but if it did air on its own, it would be £99.95 for just the 5 meter strand of freshwater pearls. You want to see what we've combined with the pearls for that kit at 9 o'clock and the price tag that we have for you, which is extraordinary. Really nice. Now, closer to home at 7 o'clock, we're actually going to start pre-orders right now on kit number 1, which, as Elle mentioned, is emerald-tastic and has got such an amazing variety of wire, including your flat copper wire as well, which is superb. It's got 2 1 meter lengths of the champagne gold coloured flat wire and 2 3 meters of the champagne gold square wire at 0.8 as well, and that's just part of the kit, as well as 200 carats of emeralds and all sorts going on as well. And Claire has made some spectacular jewellery with this kit as well. So this kit we are opening for pre-orders at this very minute right now. So the code you will need in about 5 seconds when we can open the pre-order is UWGC35. UWGC35. We start the kit at 7 o'clock. It's open and ready for pre-orders right now. And you really enjoyed that kit, Claire, as well, didn't you?
Yeah, this kit. I mean, the emeralds are fabulous.
Yeah.
But I think this is the best kit I've ever had for wire-wise. You've got, 2 lots of the flat wire.
Yeah, it's all about the wire, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a square wire. I've never had square and flat wire in a kit together. It's brilliant.
I was expecting some Wonder Woman type bangles. You know, the ones that she wears that deflect the bullets. That necklace, though, is spectacular. And Claire will be showing us some of those wonders in a wee while, in around about an hour's time. Now, quickly before we get started, in an under 10 hour, which is how we're going to crack open the show tonight. Wasn't sure what I was going to say then. Let me show you a star buy for past, because this is, you know, again, an absolute joy. Brand new strand. We love new.
Ooh.
This is 45 carats of pink amethyst graduated faceted drops. They are gorgeous. They've got an amazing, lovely sort of soft tone for them. It's what you might know as the Rose de France amethyst. It's that lighter shade, which is just delicious to make a nice waterfall design. Got your eyes on those already, I see.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, good. Well, fingers crossed, as it's a star buy in this hour, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic price tag. Right, let's dive straight into the boxes. Now, instead of, because of course it is July now, so technically on Shopping Telly, July is Christmas, isn't it? So instead of 5 gold rings, I've got 3 rose gold rings for you, because, you know, we don't want to jump in too quickly and too early. Talking of early, my alarm clock went off at 4:15 this morning. 4:15. Yeah.
Ooh.
Long day. It's okay, I've slept in between.
I was going to say, have you had a nap?
Yeah, I had a little nap. Yeah, of course you do. Nap in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Got to be done,
they're the
isn't
best,
it?
aren't
They
they?
are wicked. They're the ones that hardly anyone knows about as well. They're the ones you can get away with without anybody knowing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Because I was on our sister channel this morning on the Sewing Quarter, which was great fun, let me tell you. And I am even more pleased to be back here in the same day as well. These are delicious. I think as spacers for those really, really lovely sort of big stardust sparkle bracelets, for anything that's beaded and you want to just have that extra je ne sais pas pourquoi, as Kylie Minogue would sing, then I think these are going to be superb. What's the grammage? 0.8 of a gram. Sterling silver, flashed with a bit of rose gold. I love that that phrase. I'm going to flash you in rose gold. It's lovely, isn't it? Sounds so romantic, doesn't it? Sounds like it's done on the streets of Paris. Okay, so 3 of these are going to go under £10. So if you want to start popping those into your baskets, you can right now. Oh, in fact, actually, just hold that order for a second, because at £4.95, you'll probably want 2 or 3 lots of these, don't you think? I think they're delicious. It's like little rings for a hamster. They're beautiful. £4.95, you're getting 3 of them, and they are superb. If you are creating those lovely sort of charm designs, they would have worked really, really nicely, actually, with your kits as well. Just a little splash of rose gold mixing the metals.
Yeah, they look really lovely, just as they are. And just put your, you know, the silver chains that we do. Just put one on that. It's
yeah.
very on trend.
Delish. It's really, really nice. £4.95. Now remember, you can get through to us on the phone lines on that free call on 0800 644 655 or through the web. The web's the best way to do it, I would say, actually, or if you've got the app, because it's easy to pop things into your basket very, very easily. Pauline has got 2 sets of these straight away. Good evening, Pauline. Good evening, Anita. I forgot to tell you how to get in touch as well with myself and the wonderful Claire Macdonald. If you want to drop a message in through to us tonight, I've got a bit of a subject for us to talk about, actually, and I thought it might be a quite interesting one. I'll tell you what it is in a moment, but make a note of these details. So send a text message with the first word being JM Studio and send it to 60777, and that's the standard rate text message, so the same price as texting friends and family. My subject up for debate, I'm thinking tonight, is, and I'll see what you think about this, Claire, as well. I was reading a story about, it's 50 years since we got colour TV, apparently, since television went colour. But there are around about 8,000 people in the UK who've still got black and white TV licences. So this is leading my brain to thinking, let's think of phrases that if we said them to a 21-year-old today, they wouldn't have a clue what we were talking about. Like, for instance, 7-inch single. Not many people under 21 would have heard of what a 7-inch single is. There were many other examples, I guess, like making a call from a call box, because it's not something anybody under 21 would ever do these days, is it? And yes, Betamax, good one, Mike. Other video makes are available, but Betamax would mean nothing to anybody under 21. Are there any others that you can think of? Get in touch right now. Because I just think that's a nice little subject. There was another one as well. There was another thing that I thought of that had only been around for a certain amount of time. And I thought, actually, youngsters just would not know at all. There's just no concept.
No.
If I said Mercury phone card or BT phone card to anyone under 21, they'd say, no idea. Is it an app? You know, whatever. And it used to be like a charge card to go in and pop it into telephone boxes. It was really posh at the time. If you had a phone card, it was brilliant. 10 units on my phone card, right? No coins. I've got a card to pop in the phone box. This is brilliant. But it wouldn't mean anything to anyone who's under 21. Hello, Gabrielle. Good evening to you as well. She says, good evening, Derek. Great to have you back. We've missed you. Hi, Claire. Stunning jewellery as always. So excited to see the demos. Yeah, they are going to be fantastic,
thanks,
especially
Gabrielle.
with the flat wire that we've got in the first kit coming up at 7 o'clock. We've got 2 1-metre lengths of the 5mm champagne coloured gold copper wire, which is coming up for you in the kit at 7 o'clock, which is on pre-order right now, by the way. I'll give you the code again if you want to go and have a look. It is UWGC35. You can go and have a look at it right now. It's an amazing price as it is, let me tell you. It's superb, and it's just wire-tastic, and 200 carats of emeralds coming up at 7 o'clock. Look at these, by the way. Have you seen these? They're not just under 10, they're under 5. Under £5 for these 3 fabulous sterling silver rings, flashed in rose gold. Lots of people multiplying as well. Sheila in Washington. Hello, Sheila. She got 3 sets coming your way, Sheila. Well done. Christine in Cambridge. Actually, you could make a complete bracelet of these as well, couldn't you? Very affordably.
Yeah, just a really nice stretchy, couldn't
Yeah.
you?
Or if you had sort of 9 in the middle, maybe you could find the sterling silver equivalent as well, the plain
Yes.
sterling silver. Maybe we've got yellow gold flash ones as well that you can match them all up. You can make one of those looks like you would get in a store, and you know the kind of stores we're thinking of, and you'd be paying 3-figure price tag. Here, you could do this all for about, I don't know, 15, 20 quid, and some wire or some monofilament or, you know, some elastic, whatever you want to do. It's just all about exactly whatever your heart desires. Well put, Mike. Well put. I haven't introduced you to the team, have I? That's very rude. Where should we go first? Should we go to the black box? Because we're right on time. See, 21-year-old would not know. If you said that to them, they'd say...
Is it 20? Oh, that makes me feel
Yeah,
very
black
old.
box would have been early mid-90s, I suppose, maybe.
Because I saw something
Oh, no,
today
80s maybe.
about Prodigy Firestarter, and that's like really...
If you did that, if you sang that to anyone under
Yeah.
21, they'd sort of...
Yeah. Well,
You'd
yeah.
get one of those,
Yeah.
you're all right kind of looks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You would, wouldn't you? So we want to know... oh, sorry, let's introduce you to the team first of all. Sorry, I get so... right, late 80s, early 90s. Right, is Black Box right on time? Tell you what, that ages us all, doesn't it? Right, let's go in the gallery first then, Mike, shall we? Let's see who's in the gallery. Well, I think by virtue of the fact that I mentioned him, there's Mike on the right-hand side directing, or the master controller, and there is Daniel on the left-hand side there, who is supply teacher producing tonight. Is that a bit of a top knot you've got going on there, Daniel? Is there a bit of a top knot going on there? It's a bun, apparently. He's got a bun in that very hot oven that is the gallery. In the studio with me, I've got gorgeous Leah, who is behind camera 2 right now. Naughty Leah, who keeps me giggling all night. And down the tunnel of love, I think, should be lovely Amelia, but I think she's just nipped off. She's nipped off for a rub down from the neck down. There she
Yay!
is. She's there. She's just popped in through the door. Amelia's floor managing for Paulie Sam tonight. So get well, Paulie Sam. And of course you've got me and lovely Claire Macdonald, but you know that already because you've seen us. So, let's go for some amethyst. Amethystos. Ooh, shaded. Oh, look at that. Very, very zesty. Very icy. Very glacial. That's beautiful. Look at the way the light goes through. I believe the word is diaphanity. I don't like using that word. For me, it's not a nice word. It's like nubile. It's a word I don't like using. Diaphanity. I think it's, you know, it's sprinkled around that word, isn't it? Like it doesn't matter.
Do you know, I've never thought about it like that, but yeah. Now that you put it with nubile, which I'm not keen on.
No,
on
it's an
nubile.
awful word.
Yeah.
It's a what? Which words do you hate? There's another one tonight as well. So phrases you couldn't say to you couldn't say to a 21-year-old. Like if you said mini disc to a 21-year-old, they'd say, yeah, but Mike, you're older than 21, I think, maybe.
Yeah, like Walkman, wasn't it?
Only
Yeah.
slightly, though, I know, Mike. I know it's only a matter of weeks. But if you said mini disc to someone who was 18 now, they go,
What
mini
about
disc.
pager? Because I remember having to phone
Yeah, I
up
had a pager.
to leave messages for
Yeah,
people.
that was the weirdest thing ever because everyone had to pay. For paging, to call the pager number to say, could you page this message, you paid something like 70p or £1.
Yeah.
It would page through to the person, so they'd always have it clipped to their belt, wouldn't they? Oh, I've got a page, I've been paged. And they'd see a number, they'd then have to spend money to call that person back.
Yes,
it was like a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
And you had to keep the battery, you know, but if you said pager to a 19-year-old right now, they'd go, no, mate, is it a book? They would, wouldn't they? They would. Anyway, amethyst. Amethyst. Where were we? We're here to do gemstones as well. Here it is. 90 carats of gorgeous shaded amethyst. It's under 10 the whole hour, so you can pop these pieces straight into your basket as soon as you see them. Don't wait for the price tags. Just get them snapped up while you can. Have to say, that would make the most glorious, simple stretch bracelet, wouldn't it?
And I'd put that with the rose gold rings.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really lovely.
I was just thinking that it would work very, very nicely indeed.
Yeah.
Let's pop one in between two and see. Yeah, it would work really nicely, wouldn't it? Sorry, hang on. Let's do a bit of organisation here. Let's create a gap. Let's go for a couple of clear ones there because they're quite sweet, aren't they?
Yeah, that's lovely.
Imagine that in the middle of those. Beautiful, yes, because you've got the right kind of colour palette and tones going on there, haven't you? Beautiful. Where did I put those? There you go. Lovely. £8.95 is pretty good for amethyst these days. Have you seen, and I've seen it again, by the way, because I've been into that posh town in North Yorkshire where they have the 3, 4, 5 carat gold rings in the window with maybe a, maybe a 3, 4 or 5 carat amethyst in a gold ring. In a town in North Yorkshire, and you could be talking £3,500, £4,000, £5,000. I mean, I kid you not. It's
such a loved gemstone, though, isn't it?
Of course.
And you know, pretty much most people know of amethyst. And
you've got to love it a lot to spend £5,000. Though,
yeah,
haven't
you have.
In the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
where you could have, you know, maybe a 5 carat AAA tanzanite ring for the same kind of price versus amethyst, which, in fairness, no matter how good the quality is quite available, isn't it, compared to tanzanite?
I suppose it's relative, though, because you could probably, if you could afford that, you'd just say, oh, I'll have both. I'll have
well, that's
I'll
very
have
true.
both,
Yeah, I mean, if you've got £5,000 for an amethyst ring, you've got £10,000, haven't you? Yes, that's true, I suppose. In our dreams. Although someone, apparently, they still haven't come up with the ticket yet. Someone last night won, what was it, £87.5 million, and they haven't called the number. They haven't got on the Euro Millions, apparently, and they haven't called. Maybe, yeah, it could be Mike's, by the way. If it is Mike, I'd just like to say you're the finest director I think I've ever worked with in my entire career, which spans, years. £8.95 for your amethyst there, 90 carats of a delicious gemstone there. Right, let's move on. Let's move on to number 15. Oh, well, we won't need to be asked twice for this gemstone. It's amazing. This is the one, and I say it every time, and I will go on saying it every time. If you offered me a ton of black diamond and a ton of black spinel, guess which one I would take? I would take this one, even though the black diamond would be so much more valuable. Funnily enough, we've got black spinel right now, because last weekend I was in Whitby, which, if you don't know, is up in the on the east coast in Yorkshire, near Scarborough. You'll have heard of Scarborough. So Whitby's near Scarborough. It's where they have all the big, scary festivals and things, if you're someone that likes to wear a lot of black. And I was there last weekend. Of course, there is a gemstone that comes from Whitby called Whitby Jet. And it's very, very expensive to buy the jewellery in Whitby Jet. It's very, very expensive. And actually, it has, for me personally, no offence if you have any Whitby Jet, I'm sure it's very, very beautiful, and it's horses for courses, I realise. But it doesn't seem to have half the personality that black spinel has, because it has everything that a black diamond has to offer, plus that lovely waxy lustre, plus an uninterrupted lustre as well. I just adore it, and I know you do as well. 50 carats for you to enjoy here. This would be nice with the black pearls as well, actually, wouldn't it? In the second kit would go very, very nicely, maybe.
I think that's the beauty of black, isn't it? It goes with absolutely everything.
Yeah, well, black is the new black.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, indeed.
£5.95 for 50 carats. Now that's good, because a strand like this, and I know in my very limited, I know I've only been around here for the last sort of few months or so, but I know in the number of shows that I've done that actually that's an amazing price. A strand like this you would normally expect to be the £8.95 or the £9.95, even in an under 10 show. So £5.95, some very usable sizes there for you as well. Brilliant. £5.95.
That is
I love this.
Yeah, really, really good
I
price.
love this picture, by the way. I love that picture.
It's very happy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you, yeah.
I want to take it home and put it up in my office. It's lovely.
Maybe you could... Well, there's no one after... Oh, no, it's tomorrow's show, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm not here tomorrow either. Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. Then I'll sneak in one day and pop it under my arm. It's a little souvenir of my time at Jewellery Maker. Although if I want to come back, I probably shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? I'm back in 2 weeks' time, hopefully. If I've been bailed out by then. £5.95 for your black spinel, 50 carats. We've got lots and lots of you coming in, and I'm not surprised. It is delicious. Can you? I'm just having a thought out loud here. Maybe I shouldn't. Can you create a design where you sort of cage stones like this so that they've got some room to sort of move around?
Yeah.
You could have one smaller wire in the middle of them and then cage them in wire work.
Yeah, so you'd almost sort of do like a swirl round with your wire. It would go very nicely with either the champagne gold or the wire in the second kit. And you've got the great gauges to do that as well. So yes, you could. Because then you'd have all that sparkle, wouldn't you, as well, when they moved around.
Yeah, and I think actually with the champagne coloured wire, I mean, actually the two would definitely bring out the best in each other.
Yeah.
I love that champagne tone. It's lovely and soft. It's lovely and sophisticated. This is some of the wire coming up in the first kit at 7 o'clock, which is there for you on pre-order, by the way, if you want to go and have a little look. The code again for that one, is it UWG C35? Sounds like a catalogue, doesn't it? £5.95 for your black spinel. Oh, well done. There's lots of you coming in. Hello, Marita in Devon. What a gorgeous name. My next door neighbour is called Marita. I think that's a lovely name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
quite exotic, isn't it?
Yeah, it does sound like very sort of Sicilian or Italian. Everything to me is Sicilian at the moment because I've just booked a holiday for the beginning of October to Sicily. Have you been to Sicily ever?
I haven't, no.
No? Anyone been to Sicily in the assembled crowd?
Yes.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Amelia's been. Where did you go?
Everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. We're going to Taormina for a week.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Fantastic. Good. Anybody got any top tips on Taormina in Sicily? By all means, message them through 60777 JM Studio. Start your message with that. Merlene in London, well done. 2 of these strands coming your way. Kath in Powys, 2 of these coming your way as well. Sally in Essex. Hello, Sally. Good evening. Jacqueline on Merseyside. Teresa. Oh, yes, this we haven't seen this yet, have we? Claire Macdonald has done something rather radical with her barnet. She's got a full rainbow. That's amazing. You had that done only recently, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, Thursday.
It's
Thursday
fantastic.
afternoon.
I love it. And it's so precise. The stripes are so bold. They're really good. Sorry, Daniel, what did that message say? I missed that. Oh, it was about Claire's hair. Can we see a flash of Claire's new hair? Yes. Ah, from Deb. Yes. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's really, really nice. Really, really smart.
Thank you. It's quite like My Little Pony, Rainbow Dash.
But it's very subtle as well, doesn't it? Because you can show it off by having your hair up, can't
But
you?
still look very super professional.
De rigueur, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's fantastic. Right, we're down to single figures on this strand now, by the way. Ah, already down to single figures, £5.95. Well done, everyone. There's lots of people multi-buying on that one, which is selling it out. It's nearly gone. Which one, sorry? 21 today. We all wish we were. Right, we've got box 21, which is a brand new premiere. Oh, it's our favourite gemstone. In fact, 2 of our favourite gemstones here going on. Look at this.
Ooh.
Yum, 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 yum. How beautiful. Beautiful? With a T on the end. Why not? 2 labradorite cabochons. I love round cabochons. I just think there's something about round cabochons which is so strong and so defining. There's a massive amount of silver on this as well. 2.5 grams of sterling silver. In fact, that needs nothing else but a chain and off you go. Although you can put it on a nice sort of grand affair. In fact, the black freshwater pearls or any peacock pearls that you've got, if you had a strand of those and you just wanted to sit this as the, sort of the centrepiece to a look like that for the evening, whew, amazing. Hang on a minute, hang on, stop everything for a second. Daniel, This is an under 10 hour. This is a new item. This couldn't possibly be, could it? Well, it still says,
Ooh.
there's a needle there as well. There's a needle on that. A needle. We don't have needles. Well, we do for our seed beading, I suppose, don't we? Scissors there as well. Scissors. £9.95. Right. Jump in very, very quickly while you can. How delicious is that? Could be like your Labradorite medal. Something you treat yourself to. I mean, one of those cabochons alone, especially this larger one, it's beautiful. And that bezel in silver would have been made individually for that. There's not a machine that can set that stone into that bezel for you. It all has to be done by hand. Especially for a round, because obviously you've got a smaller stone there. So you have to work. And actually, when you set a bezel, actually Claire, you'd probably know better than I, but when you set into a sterling silver bezel setting like that, it's not just a case of pop the stone in and try and sort of squeeze the silver in. You have to go from this side, that side.
It's really quite
front,
technical.
back.
It looks like it's been tube set, so that is quite a time-consuming way to set. So yeah, I mean, for under £10 is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, your time as well as materials and gemstone. Yeah,
I was just about to say, it just belies the amount of people and the time it would have taken to create just one of these. How many do we have? Okay, we've got a fairly good quantity because this is the first outing. But when I say fairly good, for JM, that's one appearance on the morning show and you can wave goodbye to it. So you're lucky to have it right here, right now, because if that goes on with Elle tomorrow on the morning show, it'll be a 2-minute sale and gone. That's it. Even if it was higher than £9.95, I think, even if that was £12, £14.95.
and that's the thing, and you might never, ever see it again. It might,
It's delicious, good quality stone as well.
It's gorgeous.
Really good quality stone. £9.95. Well done, June. Asher, Michelle, Deirdre, Sheila, Claire, Helena, Barbara as well. Congratulations. Fabulous. Right, I'm going to move on from that one just to fit in lots and lots of goodies. Before I move on, I want to show you my star buy, which is coming up in only 5 minutes' time. And this is lovely. A brand new, another premiere. I think people are saving themselves for this one.
Oh.
We only have 100 of these when it comes up. It's not the details that are on your screen right now, by the way. That's coming up in just a second. So this is your star buy for 6:30. It's 45 carats of pink amethyst in faceted drops. This is what we're looking at right now. Oh no, hang on a second. We're still looking at the pendant details, aren't we? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Are we staying on the pendant? Oh, okay, this one. Okay, right. So we've still got the old details though, have we? Alrighty, let's show you a skull now. Different gemstone. Oh no, it is the same gemstone, is it? Or this is a moonstone. This is rather lovely, isn't it? Okay, let me just get the old tweezers out, so I'll move fingers. Grey agate. Actually, it looked like a moonstone to me. Hey. That's delicious, isn't it? It's got really nice, it's almost like a banded agate, isn't it? Brilliant. 20 by 16. It's a nice shape as well, actually. Very, very nice shape. And the way this would sit for you as well, because it has a little bit of a flat base and flat sides. So you can actually team it up, maybe with slices of gemstone either side. How groovy is that? Like it. This will go down well in Whitby, let me tell you. £4.95. Under £5. That's pretty good, isn't it? It's a lovely, lovely gemstone. Let me just turn that to the side so you can see all of its tonality and its colour. Look at that. Again, carving a gemstone like this.
That's it, yeah.
I
So if
wouldn't know
you're
where to
sort of
start.
selling on, again, what you're going to need to do, put a jump ring on on a chain or on some cord.
Yeah.
It's going to be minutes, isn't it? So
Yeah.
for a
Or-
carved gemstone.
Could end up being a key ring or something like that as well, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Because then you can make it more universally appealing as well. Maybe
Yeah.
make some lovely earrings for the ladies, or make a nice sort of key ring for the guys on some black leather or something like that. £4.95. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, Mike. Actually, maybe on a bit of cord, bit of leather cord for a guy. Actually, let's have a look in size relation and see how it goes. Maybe you wouldn't wear it quite so high, but am I holding that the right way? There you go. So yeah, that's a bit too choker, isn't it? Which is not quite guy's style, but you know. I didn't really want to subject you to any further down. It's really not a pretty sight. £4.95. There's a medallion down there already, though. It would get crowded out by the medallion, you see. Fabulous, well done. £4.95. I love the skulls. I think they're really, really good. They're very, very nice indeed. And we've got some other ones as well, actually. I think there's an obsidian one coming up in a wee while. But it's time for one of these now. Good evening, everyone. So, our talking point tonight, by the way, is things that would mean nothing to anyone under 21. Do you know, part of the reason I thought of that is because anyone over 30, which I think is the majority of the assembled crowd here, except Claire, of course, wouldn't, just an alien concept to them is a prom. You know, like leaving school. We had like a leavers disco. Everyone wrote their name on everybody else's shirt, and that's it. And everyone went home. That was it. You'd have a bit of a disco, a few cans of pop, and that would be it. Done. These days, it's a prom, isn't it?
They're huge, aren't they? Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, huge.
Massive. Anyway, let's look at our star buy, which is gorgeous, soft, pink amethyst. This is amazing. Now, this is sometimes known as the Rose de France amethyst. It's that lighter shade of delicious droplets. Again, so glacial. If you wanted to sit this next to something like a soft aquamarine,
Yes, that'd
just
be beautiful.
blend
yeah.
some colours
yeah.
together. I love the way they're graduated as well. They've got, I mean, even I find myself speaking in a more calm voice.
Yes, yeah. I think it does that to you, though, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
It's a serenity stone, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? And I think actually the cut here is really quite serene as well. It's very subtle. It's very sort of ethereal. There's a really nice sort of, I want to say aura about it. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like you can feel that, and you can see the designs that come for it. It is delicious. And I think I would be tempted with this one either to go for, I can hear Deb Rudge in my ear saying earrings, you know, waterfall style
Yes, yeah,
earrings, using the graduated sizes, using some of the smaller ones and the larger ones together. What are you thinking, Claire? What
well,
was your first thought?
It was I think it might have been at least a year ago on
Yeah.
a DVD. So really, essentially, we can pick any strand that we want for a DVD. And
Yeah.
I'd picked a strand very, very similar to that, but I haven't seen it for a long time. And I'd worked with bare copper, so I oxidised it as well. So I brought out some of the oranges, the pinks, some purples, and it just, you know, and there were drops, so they were pendants.
Yeah.
And it looks, I mean, yeah, it's a stunning.
It's
stunning
just
strand.
one that you could just look at forever and
Yes,
ever and ever.
Yeah.
Couple of pieces of information that you need. First of all, this is brand new. We have never seen this before. Secondly, we only have, did you say 100 strands? Right, 100 strands, and that is it. In fact, it's under 100 of these available. So if you want it, grab it now while you can, because again, 100 strands of something, again, is 1 2-minute quick on and gone in the morning show. You know that, I know that. You know the kind of quantities that sell out very, very quickly in the morning show. And of course, what will happen is when something, oh, sorry, let's just look. Let's just look for a second. They are delicious. Their tone of colour, their crystal clarity is just sublime. £17.95. And let me tell you, and I've never quite figured the reason, and it doesn't really matter, I suppose, but the softer amethyst, because it's less known, because it's less available, because it's less around on the high street, what you see generally on the high street is the darker purples, because they're the ones that we're more familiar with. But actually, this commands huge, huge price tags when you buy it in sort of ready-made jewellery out and about, if you can find it. It's a rare find, let me tell you. I'll just put it against skin tone as well, because I think that really sort of, it probably just better reflects the actual tone of the amethyst. Look at that glow that goes through. And again, as I always tell you, a lot of the channels that show you jewellery only, and I'm not knocking them at all, I've worked at many myself, as you know, have pinpointed spotlights looking at their gemstones. We don't have that at JM. I don't know whether that's maybe a failing on our part or not, I don't know, but the fact is that we don't. We have big sort of almost like strip lighting, but it's studio type strip lighting. So that gemstone, if it looks this good in this studio under these lighting conditions, let me tell you, when you are seeing that in real life, so to speak, when you get it home and you take it out and you see the sunlight flow through it, my word, it will illuminate and illuminate and illuminate. And there are a lot of people coming in for this already, by the way. It won't be long before I'm saying to you a third of the total already gone. Be very, very quick and get this into your basket. The price tag is enormous. I think if you're selling your pieces on, I think you return in one stone from this strand quite seriously. If you're making a pendant with some wire work or some chain or whatever it might be, a pair of earrings, you could easily, you know, at least two or three.
Yeah, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it, for the whole whole strand?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I love it. Over a third of the entire stock.
Could I see it with is that tanzanite? Have you got tanzanite?
I have got some tanzanite.
Could I see
yes.
it with that? Could
yes.
I see it with the?
Why not?
Could I see it with those? I think
Let's
that would.
have a little look.
That would work very
Let's
nicely.
see how those.
Yeah, shape and colour wise. I think
it
that
would.
be.
And actually, one of my star buys later, I mentioned aquamarine, didn't I? And it was purely by accident. I didn't even know that there were some there as a star buy later. I should have done, but me and my memory and all that.
Oh, that's lovely.
But we have got an aquamarine strand coming up as a star buy later on in the evening. And again, those two fabulous colours working together.
That's
again,
gorgeous.
It's about soft and subtle tones, isn't it? Love this. £17.95. So many people there, and so many people are upping their order as well and saying, you know what, Derek, actually, fair point. We don't see a strand like this very often. We don't see a shape like this in this shade of amethyst very often either. It is new right now, and you know what happens with something new. It does disappear rather quickly. If this was, obviously this is outside of, you know, the remit of this hour, I realise the under 10, because it is a star buy. But in its own right, if that were a £29.95 strand, I would not be surprised. I'd be happy to tell you that would be an amazing price tag. To get this under £20, just cracking, really, really good. Well done, Alison and Claire and Kay and Caroline and Angela and Anita and Hilma and Alex and Susie and Merlene. Collector in Oregon with a couple there for you. You know I don't nag about baskets because I know you're very, very good of that. When I don't know why it is. I don't even need to remind you about checking out baskets, and you can check out 300 times through the day and it's still only one P&P. I know I don't need to do that, do I, Rosemary? Or Jacqueline or Mark or Joanne or Wendy. It's fine. I know you'll get round to it. Jill at till number 6 is ready for you, remember. Alison in Flintshire, well done. Pauline in Oxfordshire, congratulations. Sheila in Washington, you've all got yours. Hazel's just popped one in her basket as well down there in lovely Kent, the Garden of England. Finest county in my opinion, although I know others will disagree. Although I just happen to have been born in Kent, that's all, and grew up in Kent. Oh, and Amelia as well. Well, it must be true then, Amelia, mustn't it? If it's you and me, then it must be true. It's the Garden of England, isn't it, apparently? But now I live in God's own county, in Yorkshire, so, you know, I'm careful about what I say with that. What county were you born and raised in? Would that be?
Birmingham, so yeah, Midlands, isn't it?
West Midlands?
Yeah, West
okay.
Midlands.
Leah?
What does that mean?
West Midlands? No, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. What's the thing about the West Midlands? You know, Kent has this Garden of England. You know, Yorkshire is God's own county. What's the thing for Birmingham?
Mordor.
Yes, Lord of the Rings, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Middle Earth, is it?
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. What about you, Daniel? Which county were you born in? West London, the posh end. Mike, are you West Midlands as well? The heart of the country. 1795. Your dad's from where, Mike? Oh, Barnsley, in South Yorkshire. Gorgeous Barnsley, really nice. No, it's lovely. Oh, sorry. I mean, it's really nice. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I just gave away what you just said in my ear then, didn't I? No, it's lovely. 1795. Now, it's nearly half of the entire stock, by the way, of those that have already sold out. So we'll be recapping that later, and it will completely and utterly have sold out within the late show tonight. So again, I would say, you know, do check out on that one. while you can. I don't nag, as you know. I've made it a rule. I said to Colin before I started my first shift, I said, I'm not nagging about baskets constantly. So I don't do that because I know that you are very good when it comes to these shows. A gemstone now, which I went into when I was in Whitby a couple of weeks ago, or last weekend, I should say. I went into a couple of those, you know, the rock and bead shops. You know, we can pick up a little...
This is like a steampunk.
Yes, they do a steampunk
yeah.
festival in Whitby. Yes, you're right. In fact, I think it's fairly soon, actually. I did see some posters for it. And they do the big Dracula events and things like that, don't they, up in Whitby? Yeah, because there's legends, you know, that goes with it and everything else. They sort of play on that a little bit in Whitby. And it's great. It's a lovely, lovely atmosphere. This is one of the most collectible gemstones for those people that do hold some truck to the purported sort of healing properties and chakra powers, etc., of gemstones. You know, it's something that we can't talk about on screen because we can't hold it in our hand as a fact. However, you might sort of believe in it. Unfortunately, it's just the way that television is regulated. But I do know it's massively, massively collected. So I think the skull emblem, because it's been used by some of the real prolific designers. I mean, who will ever forget Damien Hirst's Swarovski skull? And that really kind of started it. And then other designers, you know, have worked with it over the years. It's such an icon, isn't it, as a motif? It's really nice, actually. I do like the proportions of this. And again, that lovely sort of mottling that goes through this snowflake obsidian. I wonder why they call it snowflake, because they're not really, yeah, but they're not really white, though, are they? It is a bit more ash, isn't it? Which would go with the skull a bit more appropriately, I guess, wouldn't it?
It's making me think of, you know, in Game of Thrones, you know, the...
I have to say, you're speaking to one of the only people probably on this planet that has never once seen a single episode.
Derek!
I am the one. That's why people point at me in the street. Well, that's one of the reasons anyway. Is that he's the one that's never seen Game of Thrones. Not ever. Oh. No. But anyway, good carry on.
Well, it's making me think of the, like Jon Snow and the, you know, the wall where they sort of, they protect. It's sort of like very snowy and yes, it's reminding me of that. Oh, Derek, you'll have to watch it.
I know, but I know. Do you know what? I know when I start watching it, I'll have to start, and I do what everybody does. Yes. I see it on my Facebook feed the whole time. Just started watching Game of Thrones, haven't been seen for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Because you have to watch so many over and over again. £6.45. I tell you what, I've just finished. Have you heard of House of Cards?
Yes, I have. See, I haven't watched. Is that good? That
is amazeballs.
It's
brilliant. Really, really good. In fact, I've just got to the end of season 5, that's the end at the moment until the next season comes along, and it has a genuinely good cliffhanger every single episode. Anyway, have a look at your skull. Don't listen to us chatting. Have a look at the merchandise on offer. But yes, I would highly recommend. I do realise, by the way, that is something you pay for. It's through Netflix, so I'm not advertising for Netflix. Other services like that are available, but that's where House of Cards is. But it's based on an old BBC sort of 3-part series, which is a similar kind of thing. It's all about the dark arts in politics. It's very good, though. It's intriguing. Very, very good. And I love it. But it's one of those things that once you commit to it, you watch. You can't just watch one. You know, you sit down,
keep going.
9:30 on an evening, and you think, I'll just watch one of these. Next thing you know, it's 3 in the morning, and you're 6 later. It's honestly, which I imagine Game of Thrones is going to be exactly the same. Let's do something else now. Sorry, we'll talk about this time as well. There's your snowflake obsidian. Oh, so poor Daniel there's trying to keep order upstairs. I'm afraid you're in a hiding to nowhere with this lot and me. I'm afraid it's going to be one of those chatty Saturday nights, isn't it? Okay, next up for you. Oh, now look at the colour. Look at the colour of this multicoloured moonstone. Okay, Mike's got a new subject for us as well in a moment, because we haven't done so well on things that would mean nothing to an under 21, but Mike's got something even more prolific, and we'll tell you about that in a moment, after multicoloured moonstone. I do love moonstone. I think it's great. I love the way that actually quite a few of the designers actually take the literal name of the gemstone and then create that. So in a moonstone, they use it to make a moon in a scene in some way. And I think that's such a lovely, lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
But again, with this, I can see it working in lots of different ways. In fact, I can see this working with something like peach pearls for a new twist on bridal. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
something
I think,
a little bit different. Just something a little bit different.
And again, going back to the rose gold that you had, I mean, just little bracelets with those. That again, they would work.
Yes, let's
really
get those.
Beautifully.
Get those back in. Remember, they were £4.95 for 3. Oh, here's a message from Josephine. It says, "Hi. When I was young, record shops had several booths, so you could go in and choose a new release record to listen to and then buy it. I still ask people if they're courting. Now it's dating. Great show." Yes, we used to be courting back in the day, didn't we?
Courting is a nice.
And this time it's all of this. Are you going steady? Going steady.
Yeah,
That's an American.
there are some not.
Going steady is like
not
something
keen on
from
the newer.
It's like something from Happy Days, isn't it? Going steady. That means that you've seen them more than 3 or 4 times, I think, isn't it? Simon in Port Talbot says, "What about a floppy disk?" Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you never hear mention of the 3.5 inch anymore, do you? It's all megabytes and plugins now, isn't it? Just pop one of those rings on that strand, by the way, just so that you can see. Look, see how simple you can make a stretch bracelet with this and just literally
gorgeous,
thread those on.
Lovely.
Oh, £6.95, and you've got all of the shades going on there as well. You've got lovely sort of almost slightly, I want to say slightly carroty shades. Lovely sort of fresh oranges. You know when you've grated some carrot and you've left it on the side for a little bit and it sort of fades a little bit? That's what I mean. Please say yes, Claire.
Yes, I love grated carrot.
That's beautiful, isn't it? So £6.95. Right, let's move on to number... Oh, right, here's a strand that will walk its way out of the door by itself. And actually, for this gemstone, you've got some of the strongest tones I've ever seen in a strand here at JM. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. I've got that song stuck in my head now, Claire.
Which one?
Ride on Time.
I've got Firestarter in mind.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you started that one. Because you're right on time. She used to scream it, didn't she? Nobody could ever sing it like whoever it was. Look at this. Oh, I can't do this one now, apparently. Have to come back to that. There's a problem with that one. Problem with the jiggery-pokery in the background. Let's go for an electroplated onyx, I think it is. We've got no watt for it. There's nothing on the system for that one. System said, computer says no. Actually, if you said that to someone who was under 21, they wouldn't know what you were talking about, would they? Computer says no. They wouldn't, would they? If they're under 21,
absolutely ancient then.
They wouldn't know what that meant, would they? And yet to us, that's fantastically hilarious.
Yeah.
Mike's had a big question of this evening, by the way. This comes from director Mike, so you can blame him, not me. Crumpets or muffins? I have to say, for me personally, I'll kick this one off. For me, crumpets are the devil's work because you put butter on them, and it soaks it up like a bath sponge. You pick it up, and the butter runs all the way up your arm. The texture of them is like eating a wet bath sponge. You know, after you've had it nice and wet and spongy. And okay, Amelia says double toasted.
Yes, turn it way up on your toaster. Turn it way up.
Okay.
About 5.
No. Yes, silver. Yes. Yes. No. Crumpets. No.
I love
muffins.
Crumpets.
What do you mean by muffins, Mike? Do you mean like the fast food place does? Oh yeah, they're all right because they got a bit of semolina on top as well, a bit of texture to them. I'm afraid no. So you can gladly send in your crumpet toppings, favourite crumpet, or whether crumpets or muffins, but I'm afraid you're not going to convince me very easily. You know, like how I had a devil of a job trying to convince Deb Rod she was an Elton John fan. It's going to be along the same kind of lines as that, I have to say. Julie in the Isle of Wight, on the Isle of Wight, should I say, says, my first computer was a 16K Spectrum. It's all GB, MB and terabytes now. Ooh. Yeah, you're right, Julie. Do you know, I had a ZX, was ZX81, was that the one with the rubber keys? Yeah, I had one of those. Do you know what I used to do when I was about 9, 10, I suppose, and this was my first foray into I want to be on TV, is I had a television and a Betamax video, other videos were available, and I used to tape the local news and then play it back on the tape recorder, type in what they were saying on their script, and then deliver the news to my teddy bears. Oh,
really?
Yeah, that was my first C.
But that's so doing like fast forward and rewind
Yeah.
with but with the button, and then you'd have to sit and wait, wouldn't you, for it to
I'd have to keep going back.
on videotapes and on tapes is something that
Oh yeah, the
people wouldn't
rewinding back to the
comprehend.
beginning.
Yeah.
And if you said to somebody under 21 right now, someone's taped over Knight Rider, they would have no idea.
It wouldn't mean anything. There'd be no
idea what you meant. Anyway, have a little look. 20 carats of black onyx, which has been silver electroplated right the way around. I tell you, we're going to be talking about everything tonight. Anything you want to contribute, by the way, you can pop a little message into the box if you're watching online, send a message to the studio, or you can text it in 60777 and start your message with the word JM Studio. And we would love to hear from you on any of the subjects that we have mentioned. We seem to be quite hooked on this one of things you could say to a 21-year-old that they would just look blanker than they normally do at you. Do you know what I mean? They really wouldn't understand at all what you were saying. Yeah, I'm going to look for a holiday on teletext. They would have no idea, would they? Other text services are available. And why, tell me, on that subject, why do, you know, ITV in the middle of the night, like the dead of night, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, they put something on called ITV Night Screen. Now, no disrespect if you make this particular thing, but it's just screens and screens. Claire, you've never seen it.
I've not seen it.
Well, I would have thought, you know, when you were sort of, you know, coming in on a Sunday morning, do you know what I mean? Well, that was a good night, that kind of thing. You might have seen.
Well, when would that have been? What year? What sort of year?
Oh no, it's still on now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to.
It's just like different screens of information saying Jeremy Kyle will be on at 9:30. And a picture of him.
Oh, really?
Like there's no programme. It's very weird.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry. We were looking at this black onyx, weren't we? £6.95. Oh, are we? Which is the star by? Have we got a star by? I haven't even shown you, have I? Multicoloured moonstone. That would go nicely with the multicoloured moonstone that we had before then, wouldn't it? Right, are you ready and steady then? Right, let's get this show into some kind of order, Mike. It's a star by. I think we're all far too busy enjoying tonight. Far too busy. We are having a lot of fun. That's what it's about. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So, let's have some beautiful multicoloured moonstone now, which would go really nicely with that little strand of carroty moonstone that we had before, remember? This strand is new as well, which is lovely. These are quite unusual shapes for a strand as well,
I haven't seen that shape for ages in any gemstone, so it's brilliant because it's lovely. Because if you're when you're working with it, you see all of the gemstones, so you hardly see any drill hole. So it's
yes, because if you can see, if I show you from that angle, Leah, you can see where the drill hole is dead close to the top, and because these are sort of semi-opaque stones, you're not even seeing. Even with, I presume that's a wire through there at the moment. You are barely seeing the wire at all, you know, through the stones. So it's almost invisible when you're, because of course that's how the stones would be worn, and you're basically not seeing that. Now, are we getting these little beads on the strand as well? Because they're rather nice, even the little spacer beads there. I don't know what they are, whether they're metallic or not, but they're very nice. If you're getting that on the strand, that's a little bit of a bonus, isn't it? I love it. We always like some extra spacers and bits and pieces to work with. I know Star by number 1 didn't come within the theme of the hour, but funnily enough, this one does. That does surprise me, actually. That really does surprise me. And look at all of the different colours you've got. You've got the moon colour, moonstone. You've got the grey moonstone. You've got some of the lovely oranges there as well. Yes, there is a certain nod towards a jade kind of look to some of these, particularly this one over here, actually. That's almost a little bit more ruby looking, isn't it? Because you've almost got little sort of silk strands running through in the striation. That's a word I love, striation.
Striation.
Ooh, now that's good. Give me a striation rather than diaphanity any day of the week. I think because diaphanity sounds like profanity. I think that's probably why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a fan of the word.
I've got Firestarter and New Barlow running through my head now,
sorry.
so that's
You're
definitely
going to have
your
so
fault.
many earworms, aren't you, tonight?
Yeah.
When you're leaving here, you're going to be giggling for no reason all of a sudden, and it'll be Firestarter or striation or diaphanity. £9.95. Anyway, £9.95, and this is yours. Can't believe we're just 10 minutes away from the first kit tonight, which is amazing. Hello, good evening, Yvonne in Cumbria. That's a lovely county. That's a gorgeous county, Cumbria. Wonderful. Carol in West Lothian, well done. We've got Karen in Ohio. Karen, what time of day is it in Ohio? Let me know. I would love to know. I love that song by Olivia Newton-John, wasn't it? Banks of the Ohio. Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard of that, no.
Oh, I tell you what. Yes, that's a good song to know.
I might get a present then, mightn't I? I might get a Deb Rudge present.
Yeah, I could maybe convert you into a Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
But you've heard of Physical, haven't you?
Yes.
Which is not, in fairness to Olivia Newton-John, love you. But, you know, it's not the greatest sort of classic track in the world, is it necessarily?
It's still good for a...
It's sparkly lead warmers. It's a bit cheesy for us, isn't it? It's a bit, you know, it's a bit fun night out.
Is it very different then?
Oh, Banks of the Ohio. It's like a love story.
Right.
It sounds like a sort of western, like a bit of a Tammy Wynette kind of song.
Oh, right, okay.
It's very good, though. Should look it up and have a little listen. It's a very good one. Susan in Bristol, Sheila in Washington, Helena in County Tyrone. What about you, Helena? Sorry, there's my Northern Ireland accent. That's the best it gets, I'm afraid. Well done, everyone. Congratulations. Where are we going next, sorry? Number 19. Oh, it's nearly the end of the hour. It's nearly kit time, everyone. 200 carats of emerald coming up. We've got the flat champagne gold coloured wire. We've got all sorts coming up for you with Claire at 7 o'clock. She's made some of the most spectacular jewellery I've ever seen. I've actually never seen the flat copper wire before. I was saying in the office, actually, when Claire bought her jewellery through for the first kit. Wow, I was like, you know, where are the findings? Where's the findings kit? And it was all made from the flat copper wire, which is lovely. We've got 3 of these, by the way, in this. Now, this is nice in so much as the rings at the top are set at 90 degrees to each other. So one goes straight up and one goes east-west. One goes north-south, one goes east-west.
So that'd be lovely earrings and pendant with the moonstone that you just had. That would be.
Oh yes, with the moonstone
really
drops.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes, let's make an earring, shall we? Let's go with the slightly carroty shade and one of those drops. Yeah, actually works with everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, works with those redder ones. Works with the don't say moony ones. The ones that are coloured a little more closely to the colour of the moon. See, it wasn't worth saying longhand at all, was it? £7.95 for these fabulous connectors then. Works out to £2.65 each. It could be the centrepiece, of course, for a bracelet. You could simply connect a couple of them together in the centre with a nice feature, big wrapped cabochon in the middle would be rather nice, wouldn't it? Labradorite, I'm thinking. I'm always thinking labradorite when it's a cabochon that we've got in mind. Again, would work with we did some really lovely sort of slices and wheels of Ethiopian opal as well, which would look nice in between those. Listen, it's break time, everyone, so it's time to let the cat out and the dog in, or the other way around, or make a brew. And Claire and I will be back with you in 3 minutes' time, and we've got Emerald and Wire Festival coming on as we go through our Gemstone weekend. It's an evening you do not want to miss, so I'll see you back here in 3 minutes.
Our brand new Get Started with Jewellery Maker page has been created to provide help and guidance for jewellery making newbies. If you need design suggestions, hints and tips, or help with perfecting your jewellery designs, we're here to help. Head over to facebook.com/getstartedwithjm, where our talented in-house designers are happy to answer your jewellery making questions, offer inspiration, and get you started in your jewellery making journey. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share. The Jewellery Maker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. Each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Jewellery Maker, Ivy House, Henley Road, Outhill, Studley, B807DU. Get making and good luck.
It couldn't be easier to buy from Jewellery Maker with all the information you need right there on screen. From the item code and the product description, right down to the price. And whether you're buying at the beginning or at the end of the offer, everyone pays the final on-screen price. So, what are you waiting for? Simply telephone our free phone number or join us at jewellerymaker.com and start your jewellery making journey today. Jewellery Maker, your one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
You can watch us every day 8 AM till 10 PM on Sky, Virgin and Freesat, and every day from 8 AM till 1 PM on Freeview.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker.
I so wish you could hear everything that goes on in 3 minutes. It's probably best that you don't, in fairness. You know, what happens on air is, is enough, really, isn't it, Claire? But what happens in 3 minutes when the cameras go off? It's just this huge amount of mania that goes on around this place. We love it. We love it. It's great. You must come in one day and see what happens in a break, because people run around like it's a greyhound track around here. Listen, just before we move on to kit number 1 tonight, I want to show you my must-have. 1, because I think it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. 2, I really want one. 3, unfortunately, I cannot believe in the whole of this building here at Ivy House, we do not have one piece of chalk at all, anywhere. Can't believe it. I was at the sewing quarter this morning. I could have picked up some tailor's chalk there and bought it here tonight, because my must-have at 8:30 is, I think, for your merchandising, one of the cutest little things to do. It's funny, I was selling a storage case this morning, and I said, there was an area on the top of it, and I said, oh, if you're an artist, you could get your easel in there. And what I meant was your palette, because obviously you can get an easel into a carrying case. and actually, if I'd have had this easel on the sewing quarter this morning, I could have completely been right. This I love. It's made from wood, obviously, and it's got the chalk paint surface there. So you can write, and you see these sometimes in little boutique coffee shops as well, don't you? Saying, cherry and almond slice, £2.35, or well, we wish at these days, £2.35. But actually, in a little coffee shop I went to in Whitby, they had these little kind of signs. But I'm thinking, actually, for your jewellery stand, let's confine this to jewellery again. If you're doing a fair, if you want to, change your prices or do something dynamic, or just create something that's a little bit inviting, I just think there's no better sort of boutique kind of way to do it. So this is our must-have, which is coming up on its sweet little easel as well. It's so beautiful. It looks like something you could almost make yourself, doesn't it? But you just wouldn't know where to start, and it's far too fiddly. So buy them. At 8:30, they are my must-have. Right, okay, it's kit time. This is where we get in and see some fantastic demo with Claire. And here is our first kit of this evening. I'll clear the deck so you can see it in its entirety. There's lots going on in this kit. I almost don't know where to start. I think for me the highlight in this kit, for me, first of all, as a gemstone person, I think actually the fact that there is over 200 carats of real and genuine emerald in this really, really excites me. I know we do some very, very exceptionally affordable emerald offers and strands, but I think the fact that this has over 200 carats is just adorable. I'll start with these if that's okay. So we'll start with a 37 centimetre strand of 120, I wasn't reading it, I promise you, 120 carats of fantastic emerald. I'm just reading to see the names of the shapes. They're plain pairs and they're 15 by 10, 7 by 4 up to 15 by 10, and that's a 13 centimetre strand. Sorry, 37 centimetre strand. It's all numbers. And then the other one is 95 carats of plain rondelles that go 5 by 2 up to 9 by 4, and that's a 19 centimetre strand. And that's just the very start. If the price of this kit were just for that carat weight of emerald, I would be so happy for you, so happy for you. But the fact that it comes with all of this amazing wire as well, if you look at just that entire bundle for a second, for the price of our kit tonight, and I have never seen flat wire before, but I would say that the price for the entire kit should be those two. Should be just those two. Claire, I don't know what price this generally sells for, but for me, that seems such a huge resource.
Yes, yeah.
That you're getting 2 meters of it.
Yeah.
That if that
that
were...
we don't often see. You don't often see that flat wire, and you don't often see it as the 5 mil, you know, so...
So this for me is the absolute... right. Really? Half the kits have sold out already?
I'm really, really not surprised.
Oh, Claire, right. Okay, right. Let me I'll show you all of the wire now then, because now I'm suddenly in a hurry. Because we've got 2 meters of your 5mm champagne gold colour flat wire. You've also got 2 lots of 3 metre of the champagne gold square wire 0.8. You also have 10 meters of your 0.4 and 10 meters of your round 0.8 champagne coloured copper wire. That's a lot of words, isn't it? So you're getting all of that. All of that. Do we have like a combined price, a usual price for this, Daniel, at all? Right. Right. I'm just going to bring up all the prices for you, which we're sorting that out. We're going to bring up the web price. Right, that's our price. Now, that's why half of these kits have sold out completely and utterly. Now, there's the web price. So all of the individual components, if we were pricing them all together, they would come out at £47.69. So basically, you're getting a half-price kit here for the elements that are in it, some of which are very, very unusual. Right, I'm going over because if I don't go over, we'll be sold out and we won't see anything. We only have... Oh, Claire! Right, I'm running.
I'm really, really not surprised.
I'm really, really running. We only have around about 30 kits available. We started with, was it 100, just under 100? And we are now looking at a silly number. Look, there's a pin here. Was that a head pin? That's all right. Or was that an eye pin?
That's a ball head pin,
That's a ball head pin. That's fine. That's okay.
I think it's a sterling silver.
I thought it was a sharp needle. I'll put it in the drawer. Anyway, right. Okay, Claire, we better have a look at your jewellery, hadn't we, very, very quickly? Because these are delicious. And it's this flat wire.
It's the flat wire that absolutely makes it. You can do really, really simple designs, but because you've got that, you know, it turns it into almost more like metal smithing than just wire work.
Completely.
So it's, you know, it's absolutely wonderful, wonderful wire.
I honestly, I love it, and seriously, I think if we'd have priced these 2 1-metre lengths of that 5mm copper wire, if we'd have priced these two at a combined price, I don't know what this sells for ordinarily. You know I'm not here very often, so I don't know what the price of 2 meters of this wire is ordinarily. But if £24.95 was the price for those, knowing how far that goes, 2 meters of it, for heaven's sake, and you're right, it completely sends you into a new dimension. Now, I'm rushing ever so slightly just so that we do get to actually see a demo tonight, because that's what Claire's here to do, to impart her wisdom and her wonderful design flair as well. So you're going to show us, aren't you, how to create...
Yeah, so I thought I'd, if you haven't worked with flat wire before, to just sort of like talk through some different techniques, really.
Fabulous.
I mean, I do a really popular workshop, which is a stacker bracelet workshop, and we spend a long time having a play with the flat wire, because it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
How do you get anyone to concentrate while they've got this in their hands? Because I can just imagine.
As soon as people see the flat wire, it's a lot of smiles, and
Yeah.
it's good fun to work with.
That's amazing.
So a starting point would be it's a 5mm. So it's just you don't really need any other special tools. So you can work with your pliers as well.
Okay.
But to do something, so to make our little bracelet like this, I'm gonna cut about. So if I took probably about 8.5, 9 inches, that's going to give me enough to do a little bracelet, and then we're gonna make a little S-clasp as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off, and I've got my flush cutters. So again, so if you wanted to cut it, you can sort of push all the way through and cut through if you wanted to, or you can start to make. So I'm just putting some pressure on there, and then I can just go in. And it will snap off like that.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
you can work if you want to with if you've got your files or your emery blocks.
Just to
give that
soften the edges.
Yeah.
Can I just say to you, and I'm so sorry to interrupt, Claire, because I know I hate me interrupting when it's a demo, but we are getting down to about the last dozen or so of the kits. I can't believe already. We've never been in this situation so early, which is fine. We'll still see the demo, no worries. I will not rush, I promise, because I want to see as much as you do how you work with this wire. So off you go, Claire, sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to, so I've got my steel block and my hammer, and the sandbag underneath. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, and I will hold it up to show you. So I'm just going to, I've got the, you can already see. So I'm not going to get rid of that curve at the moment. I'm just going to go with it.
Right.
So what we want to do, we're going to aim, and I'm going to I want to texture the metal now, and you can see how well it works. So I'm going to start my way. So I'm going to work all the way.
Oh, it's a really sharp sound, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's quite. It's like it's cleaning my ears out. Everything has been dislodged.
So if I just hold that up so you can see then, can you see how straight away that gives that lovely? It really catches the light. So I've done it on the pin side of the.
And you would imagine, wouldn't you, that actually to create that kind of texture, you'd need to be at it for a long time. But that was just a few seconds,
yeah,
wasn't it?
because you've got that lovely that copper core. So yeah, it's fabulous. So what I'd be doing is I'd go all the way along. And work my way all the way through. I mean, you can see the difference there. So that's where it's sort of gone up to, and then you've got your plain section there. So by hammering it like that, it's going to do a couple of things. So it's going to texture it to give it that nice look, but it's also going to work harden it. So it's twofold. So I've got now. So what I would be doing, I want that on the outside. So I'd have worked all the way around.
Yeah.
But then I'd also come, and so if you have a look at the back, you can see it's starting to come on the outside as well. But what I'd be doing, when I decide what I'm going to have as my as the outer side, so I'm going to go in and I'm just going to texture. So I do both sides. So then whatever was going to be the outside, I'd just go back and just a couple and add in.
Wow.
Yeah, just a couple of dints.
Yeah.
So what I need to think about now is if I sort of turn around and show you this bit. So you'd have your texturing going all the way on the outside, but then on this section, on that section there, what we need to think about is that's going to be the reverse. So the bit that we see on the outside is actually what's on the inside, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
what's the thickness of this? I mean, actually, it doesn't actually say. I don't think on the details, but suffice to say that it is very strong and secure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously that's 100% copper.
That's why it's perfect for doing these bangles, because if you think about bangles or bracelets, you need to know and have full confidence, because you bang on all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
And this wire really does. You can have full confidence that it's it will hold its shape and it's not going to.
And just a very quick reminder, in this kit, and there are literally, it's just a few left now, you get 2 meters of this 5mm width gauge of the flat champagne coloured champagne gold coloured copper wire. It's amazing. It's, for me, that's the £24.95 alone. You can see we've priced, with the web price that you see there is the price of all the constituent components that are in this kit broken down. So we've basically given you a half price opportunity here, even if you're, you don't necessarily have an interest in the emeralds, for heaven's sake, just for the wire that is in this bundle. And remember, you've got 6 meters as well of the 0.8 square champagne wire as well, which is brilliant. Again, that's a rarity. And you've also got 10 meters of your 0.4 and 10 meters of your 0.8, which in fairness, you see those kind of gauges in those kind of sizes in quite a few kits. It's the square wire and this flat wire, which is selling this kit out of the door, I have to say. I did say, didn't I? I did say in the office this afternoon, I thought this kit was, I know our kits are amazing value for money. They're very, very good. But I thought this one was particularly good tonight. Yeah. I mean, look at that, just going back to the emerald, but look how long that strand of emerald is. Yeah. And beautiful, and a beautiful shape as well. Really, really beautiful shape. Yeah, they are big sizes as well. Yeah. Yeah, lovely. Right. Okay, so where were we? We were texturing. So I would have textured all the way along. So what I need to think is, so I'm going to have this as the outside here. So just on this section, the bit that I'm going to turn and to create almost like the clasp section. So I'm going to turn it over. So this will be the inside. So I'm now going to work, and I'm going to work probably about 1 inch, and I'm going to do exactly the same. So a bit more banging, and I'm going to go and texture on the reverse, because I want that to match. And I'll just show you so that, and I think, so you can see me doing things so that you'll know when you do them. So what I'm trying to do, every time I hit with the hammer, and I'm going to hold it at right at the end, I'm not going to hold it here, so get the full weight, and I'm going to try and get it so it's quite central. If I go near the edges, which is you can do, but you'll be able to see it will start to flare the edge. So yeah. Can you see how that's sort of, it's a nice look, but you need to bear that in mind as well. You're working that metal. Yeah. You've got a lot more metal to work with. So it'll create a little bit of an uneven edge. Yeah, almost like a bit of a frill, which can be, can be lovely. At the same token, if you really, really go at it, can you actually widen that 5mm? Yes, it will. It will. Great. So you can. That's good, isn't it? Really, you can sort of almost like. I've started playing with that. If you could sort of cross it over, almost like in an eye shape, and you flare it out quite a bit, you can sort of set cabochons in there. So it's again, there's so many uses for it. This is amazing. This is the most amazing wire I think I've ever seen. It's brilliant, isn't it? I love it. As soon as I saw, and actually I should just go back. If you just take a quick look, just a very, very quick squiz at this necklace here. When Claire brought this through to the office earlier, to have the pieces photographed for the web and for everything else, I was looking through the kit list going, hang on a second, where are these findings? Where all of these big metal bars here, where are the findings? I can't see the findings on the kit list, what's that? And Claire said, no, that's all from that, because I'd never seen this wire before. I think it's amazing. I think it can take your jewellery ideas and inspiration into a completely different direction. Zoe, hello lovely Zoe. Guest designer Zoe says, love the wire, had to buy the kit, loving the demo so far, Claire. Yes, and I must shut up now so we can see some more of it. Oh, Zoe, you'll love it. Really you'll love this kit. Oh, another question about the flat wire. And then I promise I will zip it. Does the flat wire get very vulnerable with work hardening, or can you keep bending and straightening it? I think it would be, what I wouldn't do with any wire is if, for example, I was going to continue bending in one place, so I wouldn't keep going. Yeah. Like this. I mean, so you can see how, I'm bending it back and forth there. I mean, you've got, nothing's happened to it yet. Can you see? So that's the whole, the whole time I've been talking, I've been doing that. You can see it's sort of slightly come out of shape, so it hasn't broken yet, which in some wires it would do. Yeah. But I wouldn't, I'd have a think about. So you can move it around plenty of times, but don't do that. Which is the nature of most metals, really, of whatever you're going to work with. So Claire, no, I can't believe this has happened. Right, is it gone? Listen. I have got more in baskets than we have available, and I'm so sorry, and I hate that situation. I'm sure you do as well. So it's at the mercy of checking out. Now, remember, there are also people coming in via the phone lines as well who want this too. So we are over allocated in baskets right now. So if you do want yours, I'm so sorry, and I never like doing this at all, but I have to insist that you check it out to guarantee it. Otherwise, I'm afraid I can't guarantee that it's yours, and I hate that situation, I promise you. So if you want it, then we've got far too many in baskets. We are sold out. If everyone that checks out, everyone that has it in their basket now checks out, that's it, game over. Congratulations is all I can say. Right, Claire, I promise, no more. Back to you.
Okay, so I've textured now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start to turn. So again, you can see how you'll be able to see, again, because it's work hardened. So I'm just going to grip. So I'm using the same sort of tools I would with the round wire. So I'm going to start to just curve that. So I might work actually on a larger. I'm going to drop down so you can see how that's starting to bend. And I'm going to go in and just make a loop like that. So I may have to go back in and open it up. So again, so the person that, I think, was it just customer, you'll be able to see, so I'll rework that and you'll be able to see how, you know, how it sort of responds like that. So I'm going to do that on both sides. So that's going to become the fastening. So if I just do that on both sides.
But then that could also be bangle finished at that stage,
yeah,
couldn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
Textured all the way
and
around.
And don't forget, you know, you can do stamping onto it because you've got that, you know, lovely surface area. So how I've bent, so to make all the links sort of in the jewellery, the other jewellery, if I just sort of show you, so can you see I've just used my bail making pliers, and so you just create 2 loops, but straight away that gives you that lovely links, and that link can be, you know, you could stamp onto that, so you've got those little, you know, identity bracelets, which are so popular, aren't they? So popular. Yeah. And we do all the fancy stamps now, so it's not just letters and numbers. But anyway, so going back to this this bracelet. So I've got my two loops at the end. So what I then want to do is, so I'll just move that out of the way. So I'm going to now do my little S hook. So again, I'm going to work with my step bail making pliers. So I'm just going to start to bring that round. So again, so I just grip it and start to bring in. So what I tend to do is tend to work on a larger mandrel, and then I'm going to work and drop it down because I've started to get the curve, and then I can go in and just get a smaller little loop. So now what I'm going to look for is, so I need that to go through there. So what I know is I'm going to have to take these up a little bit. So again, I'm going to go in and I might drop down to that larger size now. So if I bring that in, so that's going to go through there, no problem.
I think what comes across on TV so well as well is just the strength of this. It is as strong as houses, yet you can still work with it. I mean, you're not, you know, you're not having to sort of use the power of Fatima Whitbread there, are you?
Not at all.
It's workable.
Not at all. No, not at all.
Hello, Fatima, if you're watching. I know she's an avid viewer of JM. Other athletes are available.
So all I've done is sort of make my my little like shepherd's hook there. So I'd made the one loop and then bend round and bring that round. So we know that that's going to go in and fit like that. Mm-hmm. So to do the other one, if I trim off, I'm just going to cut off here. So I'm going to go and leave probably, I'm going to leave probably about an inch from the point of where that hits, and we'll see how big that becomes then, how long it makes it. So this always takes me forever to, I usually get it the wrong way around, so we'll see how this goes. To make my, the sort of the reverse, the mirror image of that shepherd hook, to make it into the S-clasp, I need to remember that the loop here goes on the same side, because what I tend to do is I tend to turn it on that side. And I always go through the same thing, and so we'll see if we get it right actually now. Could be.
It's that dazzling nail polish you've got on. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
illegal. It's not. I'm not really allowed. But no one said anything so far.
It's gorgeous.
Thanks.
Don't you change a thing, because that will inspire people who've got lovely nails who think I can't make jewellery because I'll ruin my lovely nails. Can look at Claire Macdonald and say, look at that. I can have both. I can have it all.
So these are my nails, but I have you know that gel polish. So you know, like you have a UV light. So it's my nail, but then it's that stronger. So because I find
shelly stuff.
Yeah.
Shellac,
yeah. Because I find it helps with all the weaving. It protects.
I was in the nail bar only yesterday, watching someone have it done, while I was being manicured. Yeah, I was being manicured. Always have to do it in nail bars where I'm just looking at rows and rows of pretty coloured polishes, thinking, I don't know how you choose. Can you remember what that shade was?
I can't. No, I can't.
It's nice though.
Yeah, but I am waiting to be told off about it. So.
Are you? No, they shouldn't. Oh, I'll have a word with Colin and say, you know what? Actually, that shows potential jewellery makers that actually, you know what? You don't have to wreck your beautiful nails and still make wonderful creations in jewellery. There you go. There's your get out of jail free card.
I like that. I like that. I'll say Derek says.
Yeah. Oh, don't have any of his old nonsense. Right. So
I'd made my little hook. So that we know goes in there.
Yeah.
So again, the initial one that I'd done is going to be a little bit too small.
Too small, yeah.
So all we need to do. So again, like the customer had texted, so I'm going to open up and go back in and just make that a little bit larger. So you can see it's not sort of, you don't have to worry that you've got sort of almost one attempt with it. You can go back in and, you know, and work it again. So I'm just going to start to just curve this in. So I want more of an oval. So if you've got the any of the bangle mandrels that we did, you know, the wooden ones, I would use maybe the oval one. So I'm just sort of trying to bring that in a little bit there. I'll just go and drop that in. But so you can see already, even if I didn't do anything else with it,
that's
a really lovely.
That's stunning. And
lovely
actually,
little bangle.
Sorry, as well, just to bring this down to a practical level for a second. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, just truly beautiful, even without the adornment there of the emeralds and everything else. But a lot of people, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people like to wear, or it helps them in some way. They wear a copper bangle, don't they, for various reasons. It's purported. I don't know that. I'm not a doctor, but you know, I know people buy copper bangles for various reasons. And actually, because this is copper wire as well, I think one, it's a lot more attractive. I think sometimes a lot of those copper bangles that you can go out and buy, not particularly attractive. They all look the same. They all look quite big and bulky and clumsy. And actually, I think here you have got, in essence, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here in any way, and as I say, I'm not a doctor, but I think actually the fact that, you know, you can make your own design, you can texture very, very simply. I'm sorry, I have to remind you again that I'm oversubscribed on this kit. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I have to speak. Okay, and how many do we... So, okay. I need to... Well, I've got a lot of people with this in baskets, and I'm afraid I can only allocate one more. One more. So I'm oversubscribed. But if you do miss out on this kit... one, I'm going to apologise, you know, on our behalf. Obviously, we can only sell the stock that we have. And two, I'll say that if you do miss out, you're in very good company, because there are about 30 of you that have the potential right now to miss out on this one. It's one more checkout and we're done, I'm afraid. And I think, you know what, that is entirely testament to the fact that you have 2 meters of this 5mm gauge champagne gold flat wire. I don't know what its thickness is, in all honesty to you. I don't know whether it's sort of a, what do you reckon? A 0.6 maybe? Or maybe a bit less of the thickness, the
thickness
gauge.
Of not that way. It's 0.5
5mm that way, but the actual thickness of the...
I'd say...
I don't know quite what it is, to be honest with you. But you can see if it's got the structure to hold itself as a bangle like that and have that wonderful strength to it, it really is quite strong, but at the same time as being workable and malleable. And it's only a fraction of what's in the kit, to be honest with you, because you've got your 2 meters of your 5mm flat wire. You've also got 6 meters of your 0.8 squared wire, which we've not even mentioned so far, but that's part of the offering here as well. Also in the round gold coloured wire, you've got 10 meters of your 0.6, is that?
So 0.8 and
10 meters of your 0.4.
In your standard kits,
Yeah.
I'd say it would be a fabulous kit. So if you took that away and you had, it would be a wow kit if you had the square wire in it. Yeah,
absolutely.
The fact that you've got the square wire and you've got the flat wire and you've got the round wire.
I mean, there's so many different ways of kind of viewing this, isn't there? I mean, it's you know, one of these gorgeous strands of emeralds could be your 24.95. I think very, very easily. I think actually we don't even need the 200 carats of emeralds in this kit. Amazingly, Claire, I'm sorry we didn't get to see that much.
No,
of this,
that's
but
absolutely
thank you
fine.
ever so
That's
much.
absolutely fine.
I mean, sometimes,
and, if you like it, come on the workshops as well.
Yeah, definitely. Have you got some coming up soon?
I don't know.
Right,
I'm not very good with that.
Check out with the team. Check out with the team and find out when Claire's next workshop is. But if that workshop came up with some of that flat wire, you're on a winner, an absolute winner. Let me tell you. Right, should we go? But I'm sorry to leave you so soon because usually we're here for a good while. I think we will be at 9 o'clock, won't we? It'll be like a masterclass at 9 o'clock, won't it? Because we've got that fabulous kit with the 5 meters of black freshwater pearls. That's amazing. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. And again, I have to say sorry to so many people who are going to miss out on that kit. I think they're now all accounted for, I think. I'm just going to show you the must-have. It's coming up in an hour's time. I just love this. I could talk about this all night long. It's really nice. It's a very different must-have, actually. It's coming up at 8:30. It's these little wooden easels here, which are so sweet. They've got their little stands. They fold away nice and flat as well. And you've got these little chalkboards, which are so, so sweet. You can get those chalk pens, can't you? So if, like me, you're not great with chalk, I've got some of those because I actually have a chalkboard at home.
See,
for the
I think
kitchen.
I might be. I might get some of those. I love the effect.
I shouldn't tell you this, and don't come and burgle my house or anything, will you? But in one of the rooms in the house, I won't tell you which one, but it's not the one in the cellar. I've got a big, like a chalkboard, and what I do every month is I draw out a grid with the month. And then everything me and my other half are doing, we can sort of coordinate to make sure that there's always someone.
Idea.
Well, you need to make sure that there's always someone home for the cat, and to remember it's this bin on that day, and those kind of boring mundane things, and who's coming to stay, and who's going where, and who's staying where, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's good to have those sort of chalk pens. On a smaller scale, if you are presenting your jewellery at craft fairs, then merchandising, this is brilliant. Because if you've got one of those little green sort of chalk paint pens, and you've got an emerald bracelet, as we just saw with Claire there, you could just write the details in there. 50 carat emerald bracelet, and just have that sat next to the piece. Or you could say amber selection. Anything in this basket is £5 or whatever it may be. So you've got to have lots of those if you're merchandising. I want one just to have one, quite frankly. Just to have one. Right. Okay, now because we have some extra time in this hour, it means we can do some extra sterling silver goodies in this half an hour. Because the reason why we've moved is because the kit has completely and utterly sold out. But what we have learned, if you did manage to get the kit, and I don't know whether we have that flat wire available on its own, by the way. It might just be worth actually. We'll have a little search around, but of course you know what to look for. If you look at the kit list from the website, it will show you. These are rather sweet.
They're like beautiful MIDI rings. I might have to.
They're a bit sweet, aren't they?
Borrow one of those.
They are lovely. And they've got this amazing texture. Now this texture is created in sterling silver actually by diamond cutting into the silver. So that will start as a sort of a solid piece of sterling silver, or a solid ring, should I say, cast of silver, and then it will be diamond cut from there. So of course you've got, in fact it's probably best seen against the darker background for a second. Let me just lift that up, Mike. You can see that wonderful diamond-like texture. It's almost like the ring itself has been micro pave set with lots and lots of diamonds. Now you're not just getting one of these actually, you're actually getting 5 in the set, which is rather good, and they're all in 925 sterling silver. Remember, on some of the strands, and the strands that were here earlier have gone now, but on the strands that we had earlier, again, if you wanted to use a couple of these as a kind of feature, I always like to think of the simple things first and then start thinking about how you would be inspired by these. And again, would you have them together? Would you have them wire work together? Because you could almost do like the Olympic rings with those, couldn't you? And wire work them together in some way and have them all reflecting deliciously. I wish you could see what I could see right now. Because when you've got a couple of these together, let me see if I can pick up a couple together. Let me see if I can pick up a couple together, but slightly apart, if that makes sense. Because you can see, actually, because you've got so many angles for the light to kind of, yeah.
And you could weave them together like that. So if you,
Yeah.
or with your chain, or with your, if you've got sterling silver wires, you could, you know, sort of hold them there together like that. But in the second, for the second kit and the second demo, everything is the pattern is built around jump rings.
Okay.
So I mean, they would be. I've never seen those before. I mean, they'd be fabulous.
They're beautiful. Actually, are these new, Daniel? Oh, they have been on before. I've never seen them. Personally, I've never seen them before. Claire's never seen them before, so they can't have been on very much. And they won't be around for long because they're only £3.95.
I mean, it's a standalone pendant, isn't it?
Yeah,
you could
completely.
That would be lovely.
That's delicious. I can imagine as well, remember that star buy that we did earlier with the moonstone drops? If somehow you can get a moonstone drop suspended in the middle of one of those, which if anyone can, Claire Macdonald, you can. Let's see. Look, imagine one of those droplets of the moonstone suspended inside
nice.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so you can have the gemstone still moving. Beautiful.
They're really, really nice. Really
Wonderful.
nice.
Wonderful. Very, very busy. Very, very busy indeed. Lots of people oh my crikey, we're busy tonight, aren't we, for a Saturday night? Well done. Everyone's come in from the garden now, haven't they? It's been a lovely day, actually, hasn't it? It started off really... When I saw dawn here in the West Midlands, well, I was in the West Midlands, I was in Birmingham this morning at the sewing quarter, and when I arrived there about 6 o'clock, it was grey and miserable and drizzly.
Yeah,
typical crack of dawn kind of... It's going to be one of those days. And it's kind of developed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful when I arrived here.
When
really
I had my
lovely.
nan nap this afternoon and then got back out of bed and drew the curtains back, I was like... Wow, that's amazing. Very good. And it's turned into a lovely day. £3, okay, half the stock have gone already of these. £3.95. Anne-Marie in Inverclyde. Hello, my darling. Well done. 3 sets of these coming your way. Linda in North Yorkshire. Where are you in North Yorkshire, Linda? Drop us a little message as well. We'd love to hear from you tonight. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about things that you would say to a 20-year-old, a 21-year-old that they wouldn't understand at all, like... phone card or putting money into a phone box. That doesn't happen, does it now? Mini discs, even, things like that. Let's go back a little bit further. If you said gramophone to a 21-year-old, they would have no idea. If you said Rubik's Cube to a 21-year-old...
And I can't remember what it was called, but do you remember with checkbooks? Do you remember when you used to write a cheque and they did the...
Oh, the card machines, yes. Okay, yes, before the world of chip and pin, where you'd pop your card in and put your number in, yes, of course, they used to take your card. I used to work in a shop, actually, and put the card on flat on the plate, put the paying slip across the top, write all the numbers. That would take the impression of the card number, and then you'd get the customer to sign it, and then you'd give them 1 copy and keep 1 copy for the till and give them their card back. What a faff that was! Where now you can just go, right, beep, that's it, I'm done. It makes it a bit too easy, though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
We've got a message from Jackie in Kent. I remember bus conductors, yes, with the handheld ticket machines. They used to have to do this, didn't they, and pull you out a ticket. When do you never see a bus conductor now, do you? You see some for fun in London, don't you? You like the touristy buses. They still have conductors, don't they, I think?
Yeah, I don't think on trains, don't you? But not on the buses.
Yeah, but they don't have those.
No.
They have those.
And the papery tickets.
Yes, you have to. Well, you still get paper bus tickets, I think, don't you? Wonderful. Anyway, listen. Things you could say to a 21-year-old and they would have no idea what you're on about. Keep texting them in, 60777. Start your message with, oh my word. No, sorry, start your message with JM Studio. Sorry, I just looked at the screen where everyone's coming in for these. That's what you do for a text message. It's 60777 and you start your message with JM Studio, not oh my word. JM Studio, otherwise it goes to somebody else. Collector in Dumfries and Galloway, welcome. I love Dumfries and Galloway, beautiful. And after I mentioned last time on the last show I was here, mentioned I've got family in Port William in Dumfries and Galloway. I heard from a lovely lady in Port William, and we're going to go for a coffee the next time I'm up there. Sue's in Lanarkshire, well done. Linda in Nottinghamshire, Sharon in Essex, 3 sets of these coming your way. We are down to the last 20 of these now. Well done. Debbie and Ola and Collector in Somerset, and Sue on Merseyside, and Ilva in Argyll and Bute. Viv in Essex, Jacqueline in Tennessee, deep in the heart of Texas. Is it Tennessee in Texas? I have no idea. Tennessee is Tennessee, isn't it? It's a state, Derek. So am I. So's my knowledge of the US of A. I do apologise.
I'm sorry, I need to... I've resisted so much. I need to come over and
play? Oh, you're going to have a... They're not quite ring size, are they?
Gorgeous. No, do you know what I'd be doing? I'd make, you know, the really fancy wish bracelets, so you can just macrame off there. Oh, I'm sorry to say they're nearly sold out, so if you want some, you'll need to... I can't have any.
Give me a purse and I'll run your card through the card machine. £3.95. I'm going to move on, purely because they're almost sold out. Where did they come from? Oh, in the pot underneath, that's right, yes. Absolutely. Like a magician. Right, number 8. Where did they come from? Number 5. Number 8. Sorry, Daniel. Everything that's in my head, by the way, comes out of my mouth. Just to let you know. I don't have quiet thoughts. They all come out. A lot of them should stay in, but, you know, there's nothing I can do about that now. And they still ask me back, somehow. I mean, utter desperation. I think that's what it is. They just can't find anybody else, Claire, at all. Now, what are these for? Tell me.
Well, they would be, so if you were going to make something with your, say with the jump rings that you just had, so sterling silver.
Yeah.
So that's the little tag that you can put on that says it's 925 sterling silver.
Oh.
But they also work as, you can imagine if you put your jump ring or your thread or cord or anything through the smaller hole.
Yes.
You could use it then as, you know, like a clasp as a link there. Mm-hmm. So it could be just a straightforward tag. Or you use it as a little, the little link that your clasp would go through.
What a good idea. I didn't even know you could buy these kind of things, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, I've never seen anything like this, but what sense that makes. Just that little authenticity, excuse me, if you are working with sterling silver elements, actually just to add that, I guess that little stamp of security, I suppose, isn't it? It's peace of mind for the buyer, isn't it, actually, as they're looking around that piece. In fact, you know, there's still a lot of people out there who quite often when they're looking at sterling silver pieces will say, oh, can you show me the hallmark? And of course, silver doesn't have hallmarking as such in the same way that gold has, but the 925, of course, denotes the purity of the silver that you're using in your piece, which is generally the standard now is 925, isn't it? So 925 parts per thousand sterling silver, which is lovely. Here comes another text message from Anita. Hello, my darling. Derek Greenshield stamp books.
Yeah.
Yes, if you said that to a 21-year-old, what would they would just go, stamps. Yeah. First of all, they'd say stamps, wouldn't they? Because youngsters don't buy stamps, do they? They just they print something out on their printer, and you know that's it just happens, doesn't it? So the concept of stamps.
Do you still do you know, spot the ball? Do you remember in the pools?
Oh yeah.
The ticking. Do you still do those? I don't know if you can still do those.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I can't advocate one way or the other anything that involves gambling in any way, shape or form. We'd just like to make that clear. Anne in John O'Groats says, hi all, I think up here anyway, the milkman who had all sorts on his slow electric van, all sorts on his slow electric van, yes. Also telegrams, great demo Claire, nice to see you too. Yes, you're right Anne, actually. Yeah. Milkman.
Yes.
And they used to sell everything, didn't they? You could buy a bag of spuds from them, or
and then you give the bottle back, wouldn't you? Do you remember the bottle?
Yes.
So if you
when the pop man came back. And you get 5p for each bottle that went back.
Yeah.
Oh, them what days, weren't they? Them what days. Right, okay, let's get you a price. Oh, we haven't got the price for this yet. I was going grey in the queue there. There you go. 50 of these tags. Is that it? 50 of these tags. And actually, again, you know, in terms of, you know, their functionality, fantastic. In terms of the peace of mind and the provenance it gives your pieces, that's a tiny price to pay. That would make them, 50, 6.95, 50. Oh dear, that's mathematics. Can't really be doing that on a Saturday night. Moira, well done. Jean, Julie, Glenys. Really, 13 pennies each. Do you remember the halfpenny, Claire?
That's what I was just thinking about.
I used to collect them.
Something in like half p. Yeah, half p.
I used to collect halfpennies just as they went out of circulation.
Did you?
Yeah, had to cash them all in. Half piece, useless, weren't they?
They were teeny as well, weren't they?
And they were ridiculous. You had them in your pocket and you thought, well, what is the point in this? What was the point in them minting something that is worth half a pence?
But you used to be able to get like half p sweets, didn't you? If you in your 10p mix.
Did you?
Yeah. No.
Now, I was a child.
I've heard from other people.
When I did my paper round on a Sunday, I used to come back and work in the paper shop. I don't remember half p sweets.
Oh yeah, we did.
1 penny, mind you, I did live in Kent, darling. Dripping with money in
See,
Kent
now
we
in
are.
Birmingham.
Our sweets started £1 in Kent, you know. None of this penny business. No, I don't remember halfpenny sweets, but I do remember things being something at a half pence.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to come back at me now, and you're going to say, well, you know, I remember 2 shillings and 6pence and everything else. And funnily enough, Claire, whenever I do a shift here and I go up to Colin's office on the Friday, I still pick up that little brown envelope, and it still has 2 shillings and 6pence in it. I don't know why. For some reason, Colin hasn't gone decimal. Not quite sure why. There you go. I've got lots of them, can't spend them, got lots of these brown envelopes lined up. Anyway, it's keeping me eBay shop busy. Other sites are available. QPRF 97.50 of those 925 sterling silver tags for just £6.95. They are brilliant. I love them. Haven't we learnt a lot tonight, Claire? We always learn a lot when you're here, don't we?
I learn a lot from you,
it's like
definitely.
School, isn't it? All over again. Well, and I learn a lot from you as well. In return, I mean, what I now don't know about Sarah Loon isn't worth knowing. In fact, I'm going to bring, in the next break at 8 o'clock, I'm going to bring my proud pendant. Remember the one I made?
Yeah, so has it gone really solid now? And,
solid as a rock.
Right,
yes,
that's good.
It's fantastic. Right, we've got little sterling silver sweeties, it looks like now. Have a look at these, like little stardust beads. Don't look at me, look at these. Lovely stardust beads. And there are 10 of them in sterling silver. I love them. They look like little sweeties, don't they, Claire?
They do. Not half p ones, though.
No. Actually, you might get a few of these for half. Actually, now you're making me think whether a quarter of sherbet pips might have been something in a half p. Do you know what I mean?
Right, okay. So you're coming down to my level now, are you?
Yeah, because these were kind of sherbet pip size, aren't they, really? Yeah. I used to love things like that.
I like those.
They were like little
pips,
drops, like little tiny drops of like, almost imagine pear drops smashed into lots of little pieces. It was a bit like that. But they were different flavours, weren't they?
Have you ever been to the, there's the Victorian sweet shop in Birmingham?
No.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh, I'll have to take you there. It's right by the Hippodrome.
Oh, right.
And it has all of those sweets, so all the sweets you can remember from your
Oh,
childhood.
really? Oh, yes. I've seen a shop like that. We have a little sweet shop near us, actually, up in North Yorkshire, that does all the old sweets, and you can still buy them by the quarter. They're not quite the price that they used to be, but, you know, they're all there, you know, like cough drops and things like that. Yeah, cough drops and licorice all sorts.
Yeah.
We didn't have anybody come in on the muffins versus crumpet debate, did we? Well, let's just take... We'll take a little... I'm old enough to remember the salt and vinegar man with his horse and cart. Salt came in big block.
Wow.
The vinegar was decanted into your own containers. No way! Elaine, tell me that's true. You're not making that up. There was a salt and vinegar man who would bring a block of salt and would decant vinegar into your What would you have it decanted into? A bottle, I suppose, wouldn't you? It'd have to be a bottle with a top on it, though, because it would otherwise stink the house out, wouldn't it? You think, what's that smell of vinegar? Mind you, you used to use vinegar and crepe paper for some reason, like ironing or something like that. What did they used to use vinegar and crepe paper for?
Wasn't it in a nursery rhyme? Isn't it
No, that's vinegar and brown paper, isn't it? I can't remember even the nursery rhyme because that went through my head as I said it. Derek, a quarter of sherbet pips cost 3D in 1967. Now, 3D, Claire, just because I know you won't know this, 3D is actually 3p.
Oh, is
But
it?
old pennies.
Oh, right, okay.
That were much, much bigger. You know, like the silly little pennies that we have now that are not worth having. But the old pennies were much bigger. Well, sorry, that was an exaggeration. They weren't like that big. Hey, this penny's heavy. No wonder you can buy a bag of chips, go to the cinema and get the bus home on it. Anyway, let's go back to these Stardust connectors. I wish you'd concentrate. We've got 10 of these, remember, for a tiny, tiny little price of £6.95. This is really good, actually, if you're getting your silver stash together tonight. It's really, really good. £6.95, 0800 644 655 if you're coming through on the telephone lines. Or, of course, you can jump this into your web basket on the web at JewelleryMaker.com. Katarina's straight there, well done. Old sweeties. Favourite ones. I quite used to like, I know most people went for cola cubes, but I actually liked the number 11, sorry. Pineapple cubes, sorry.
Oh, yes.
I was listening and trying to think about what I was thinking about at the same time. Yeah, pineapple cubes. I used to quite like those.
Do you like the peanut ones? I like the
peanut cubes.
No, not cubes.
Peanut brittle, you mean?
No, it's like a peanut shape.
Oh yes, with a crunchy outside. Didn't actually have a peanut in it.
Yeah, no.
Yes, it was sort of nutty. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
quite nice. It would explain a few fillings, though. Do you know what I mean? Eating that kind of thing, it would explain a fair few fillings. These are quite sweet. Look, now these are drilled beads of sterling silver. And they've got, oh, actually, we might, should we, oh, I don't know. What's the best way of looking at these? Are we going to have a super zoom into one, do you think, maybe? Yes, I think we'll go extender in, Mike, shall we? And go straight into one. Is that all right? Can we do that? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go extender in. Come on, then. Let's see.
Ooh.
That's beautiful. That's it. Because these have sort of mirrored, they almost look like little planets in the solar system a little bit, don't they? They've got mirrored edges and they've got like a stardust texture sort of combined into one. Do you agree? It's a little bit like a cosmic Milky Way, Mike. Do you think? Space popcorn. Perfect. See? Your talents are wasted in that box, let me tell you. They are great, aren't they? And they have got drill holes through them, so you can thread them onto your wires. Your monofilament would go through there, no problem. And they're coming in, and there are 10 of these coming in at £4.95. Which, hang on a second, we move the decimal point 1 to the right. Get rid of the pound note sign, and that makes 49.5 each. Very good. Very good indeed. Green Shield stamps. My nan gave me lots of books of Green Shield stamps after they were no longer around, which must have been, I suppose, the mid-70s, I'm thinking, maybe a little bit later. But she gave me lots of books full of Green Shield stamps, unclaimed. I don't know whatever happened to them. You know, you lose them in the course of life, don't you? Things like this. But yeah, but you used to be able, it was like a savings kind of club thing, wasn't it? You used to buy your stamps and then save up for like a good turkey or something at Christmas.
I just remember my grandparents having them.
Could someone explain Green Shield stamps to us? Just what you actually did. Did you actually pay for them like you can in some supermarkets, buy stamps, put them in like a savings card and then get all your Christmas stuff and just give them the cards, you know, because you've prepaid for it up front. Is it that kind of thing? Or is it like the old version of loyalty cards? Do you know what I mean? Like an old loyalty point. Okay, so you bought this amount of stuff so you can have 3 stamps for your book. I don't know how that I don't know how that works. Anyway, so we've got £4.95 for these. We've got another Star Buy coming up for you in just a second. I probably should have told you what it was some hours ago. I'm shuffling furiously through my papers here to find out. Oh yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's more sterling silver spaces. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine that you don't know because you'll definitely want them. Well done, Marlene, Anna, Janet, Carol, Angela, Valma, Sharon, and others as well on that one. Congratulations, and now it's time for one of these. We are loving your company tonight. Do stick around all the way through until 10 o'clock. And if you can't be here for the whole thing, don't worry, you can watch it all again in glorious Technicolor via the wonders of YouTube. Talking of tubes, we have, nice segue, nice segue. I've got some sterling silver tubes now for you. I just love these, and I know previously, Claire, in another life, at another channel, I've sold complete necklaces where literally tubes like this are threaded together with some, I presume, some metal wire of some description.
Yes, yeah, your beading threads. So you could use your different your beading threads. So that's which is a fine wire with like a coating on top of it.
Yes.
But I'd be putting those with you know, the little round ones that you had before, because there's a lot of
the sweetie shaped ones, you mean?
Yes. Because you've got if you have a look, it's really popular at the moment of like doing, you know, like dot dash.
Oh yeah,
what's it
like
called?
Morse code.
Yeah, Morse code. Yeah. Little messages.
Something else that wouldn't mean anything else to under 21s.
Yeah.
Morse code. They wouldn't have a clue, would they? So
people spell out things. So, and if you've got like that, you've got your dashes and you've got your dots.
Yes. Dot. Yes, you could do initials, couldn't you? Dots and dashes.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Claire? You are a genius.
Thanks. I can't really claim that one. But
No, it's... Oh, can you not? No, that's all right. That's fine. Thanks. You didn't have to tell me that. I would have believed you. Deborah says Green Shield stamps were loyalty rewards that you could collect and exchange for goods. So does that mean you had to spend a certain amount and you would get, like, for every £10 you spent or whatever it was, it'd be £10 in today's money, wouldn't it? But maybe back in the maybe it was every sixpence you spent, you had a stamp or something like that. Is that how it worked? Let's do some dots and dashes then. Right. So if we were doing your initials, CM, what would we need, Claire? I'm joking. I don't know either. Let's just do a dash and two dots and another dash and see how that looks. Let's have a little look at these together. So we've got dash, dot, dot, dash. That's quite good, isn't it? So you could do that. That's a brilliant idea, Claire. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Right, 10 of these tubes.
Ooh.
Oh, again, £4.95. So again, 49.5 each, and they are yours. Now, let's just... Oh, I'm going to bring one back up again, because I think these are lovely. These remind me of... I don't know what they remind me of, actually. They are rather lovely, though, and they're quite sort of structural. I think... Do you know what I'm thinking of? And you said it earlier, actually. I'm thinking of steampunk designs.
Yes, you could.
And how you could incorporate... Because they've got a little bit of an industrial kind of look to them, haven't they?
Yeah, and you could make... They'd give you that nice structure. You can make geometric shapes as well, or cage things. You know how you were talking about caging the spinel or something like that? That would allow you to,
you could make,
to do that.
You could also make... I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'll try and tilt it up in just a second, and it'll all fall over the place, I'm sure. But if you've got the curves kind of the right way, you can kind of, eventually, you can make a circle, can't you? So if you use that as the outer circle for a steampunk design, okay, that's very, very rudimentary. I've not had time to really arrange that. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But you could use that as the outer, almost the outer of a wheel.
Yeah, like cogs and things like that. Yes, yeah.
Oh, love it. There's 1,001 different things to do with these. They are great. 0800 644 655 is your telephone number. I'm just loving this. It's like playtime, this, isn't it? It's just brilliant. This isn't like work at all. This is just a pure joy. And we're learning lots of new things as well. We're just sharing our inspiration. If you've got ideas, maybe you've had some of these before and you've thought, actually, you should be saying what I've thought of. Let us know. Get in touch. Drop us a little text or a message. £4.95. There's how you send a text through to us. Just start your text message with the word JM Studio and send it to 60777. It's a standard rate text message as well. Hello, Mary Lee. Hello, Mary Lee. She's in Arizona. And I'm hoping it's a she. I'm sure it will be. Sharon's in Essex, Collector in Somerset, Deborah in Greater Manchester, Christine, Maura in County Kildare, Collector on Merseyside. Well done. Lovely. Shall we have another little sterling silver wonder before we go out of this hour? Number 14. Number 14. Till number 14, please. Right. Oh. Yeah, I am the voice of, yeah. Cashier number 1, please. That's me.
That's amazing.
I wish it was, though. I wish it was. Imagine that. The money must be great for that. You know, you get to go to every post office. Yeah. And just...
Is it you?
No, it really isn't, no.
I
wish
would have
it
been
was.
my claim to fame, then.
Yeah, I know the man who is cashier number 2, please. Order number 912 to your collection point, please. I didn't know we sold these individually, I'm going to be honest with you. Lobster claw clasps. Now, you know that clasps are clasps are clasps, and bolt ring clasps are fine, don't mind them, but lobster claw clasps are so, for me, they're so much more prestigious. They use a lot more sterling silver. I think they finish off a piece far better than a bolt ring clasp, and they're less fiddly to manage than a bolt ring clasp. I'm going to be honest with you. You've got 10 of these, which are all in sterling silver, plated with rose gold. Ooh. Never. We have never sold these at £4.95 before. So they're 50 pence each, just under. For sterling silver. Now, let me tell you, and I'll genuinely tell you, keep your eyes on these while I tell you this, because this is, I've been to manufacturers in Italy that make sterling silver chains, and I know cost price, if you're buying a fully made up chain, the difference between having that chain finished off with a bolt ring clasp and a lobster claw clasp is substantial. We can be talking 20 or 30% on to the cost price of the piece. So I'm really surprised that we let these out of the door for anywhere near this kind of price tag. Yes, it is stupid. Sorry, I was a bit reticent about saying that word, but it is. As a business, it's absolutely stupid for us to do that, isn't it? And I know that's a very harsh word, but really bonkers. I want to get our management and shake them and say, what are you doing? For you, it's just brilliant. It's like carnival time. I would just come on in and snap up as many sets of those as you can. We've never seen them before at this price. Where have they been before, Daniel? Do we know the price they've been to before? £4.95. We've sold them at £6.95 before. Even that is silly. I don't have anything to add. I refer you to the answer I gave some moments ago. Just grab these while you can. It is, and I know that I don't say this often either, it's like a legal smash and grab. It is, seriously. The police will not be after you. I'm going to leave this with you over the break, and I'm back with lots after this.
Our brand new Get Started with Jewellery Maker page has been created to provide help and guidance for jewellery making newbies. If you need design suggestions, hints and tips, or help with perfecting your jewellery designs, we're here to help. Head over to facebook.com/GetStartedWithJM, where our talented in-house designers are happy to answer your jewellery making questions, offer inspiration, and get you started in your jewellery making journey. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Buying from Jewellery Maker couldn't be easier. When we bring an item to you, all the graphics come on screen, and this gives you all the information that you will need to know, from the item code to the product description with all of the key information. Then the price comes on, and whether you join at the beginning or at the end of the offer, everyone pays the final on-screen price.
So, when you see an item that you would like to buy, simply pick up the phone and dial our free phone number, and you'll get through to our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, you can join us at www.jewellerymaker.com and start your jewellery making journey today. Jewellery Maker, the one-stop shop for all your jewellery making needs.
The Jewellery Maker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. Each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Jewellery Maker, Ivy House, Henley Road, Outhill, Studley, B807DU. Get making and good luck.
If for any reason you're not satisfied with your purchase, you have the benefit of our 30-day money-back guarantee.
Do you know the last three words I just said to Claire then, as I could hear 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in my ear was, "It's not goosey yet." And we were talking, it's a very innocent conversation actually, well most of it. We were talking about temperature in the studio, and I was saying it's not goosey yet, as in neither of us so far has any goose pimples, which is good, but it's just verging on the...
It's borderline, isn't it?
It's borderline, yeah, slightly too Baltic. Anyway, listen, that's nothing for you to worry about, our temperature problems. Let me show you our today's must-have, and it's so beautiful. It's not a strand, it's not some findings, it's not a kit, anything like that. It's this miniature little chalkboard. Now, if nothing else, it might take you back to your school days. You might play noughts and crosses on it. I can't believe in the whole of this building we don't have one piece of chalk. Honestly, I'm still flabbergasted by that. I cannot find a single piece of chalk or a chalk pen in the whole of the Ivy House. But never mind. What you have got here is this little wooden easel. And I definitely need some chalk. If there's some around, we need to find someone. And you've got this little chalk board here. And it's great for your merchandising. It's fabulous. Only stands maybe, what, 3 or 4 inches tall, something like that, maybe a bit more. I'll give it a measure in a moment, actually. In fact, I'll do that now. Yeah, 4 inches. And they say men overestimate. 4 inches tall, with your little chalkboard on there. So you can write your little messages on there. Emerald selection, or, you know, 50 pence all in. Lucky dip, £2, whatever it might be. Do you remember Lucky Dips when you used to go to a fair? They might still do them, actually. And you'd have a whole big dustbin full of sawdust, and you'd just reach in and you'd get like a present, and it would be wrapped in newspaper and all kinds of stuff, and then it would be, you know, whatever it was. Might be a bracelet, or, you know.
Yeah, they were never normally that good, were they?
No, it was usually plastic things, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Plastic water pistol gun things, you know, that kind of thing, wasn't it? Or a yo-yo.
Yes, a lot of yo-yos. Yeah.
Would the kids know what a yo-yo is now?
They tend to come back in fads, don't they? And
yeah, because it's that spinning thing at the moment, isn't it? Which is
a fidget spinner. Yes.
I just don't see what's going on there. But I could hear my parents also saying, "I don't know why he's playing with that yo-yo. I don't know why he's messing around with that remote control car." Anyway, kit. We're going to open the pre-order like we did for kit number 1 at 7 o'clock. We're going to open our 9 o'clock kit, open for pre-orders, in just a couple of moments for you. But I want to walk you through the kit and show you the most spectacular pearl necklace you have probably ever seen in your entire life. It is delicious. In fact, let's start off by showing you that amazing creation. It is incredible. I love it. Honestly, it is one of the most spectacular creations, Claire. And I know you spent a lot of time perfecting this design, but you're going to help us to create that same kind of look later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll go through because it's just very repetitive, so a bit time consuming. But once you, pattern.
It's fine by me. I mean, if you end up with something that is just, I mean, honestly, one of the most beautiful pearl pieces I've ever seen, honestly. Hats off to you, my darling.
Thank you.
Let me give you, can I give you the code now to pre-order that? Okay, shall I start again? QKGC01. You see, if I could have had it on my chalkboard, couldn't I? Really? QKGC01. Fabulous. Right, it's open for pre-orders now. Let me just walk you through the kit contents. The main feature of this is one continuous, I think it's one continuous length actually, isn't it? Yes, 5 metres.
So you get 5 lot, yeah.
Yes,
5
right.
lot.
So you get a 1 metre strand of 3 to 4 millimetre round pearls. Have a little look. You get 2 1 metre strands that are 6 to 7 millimetres. Is that right? Does that give us our full 5 metres? 5 metres of black freshwater pearls, 1 metre of 3 to 4 millimetres, 2 1 millimetres of 6 to 7 millimetres. I must be missing some details here in the details that I've got.
Here we go. Look, that's what it. If it all comes off, that's what.
Can
you see?
Okay.
How fabulous is that?
So I think that might be 1 strand of 3, and then 1 strand of 4, and then 2 strands.
So I've got 2 of the larger,
yes.
2 of the medium, and 1 of the small.
Oh, okay, that makes even more sense. So that, I'll tell you what, I'll get all the details by the time we actually launch the kit. But either way, you get 5 metres of black freshwater cultured pearls. These pearls have only been sold bundled before, but if we were selling them individually, the entire price would be $99.95. I do know that. I checked with Phil before we started the show tonight, which, you know, would be fantastic. So, wire-wise in this kit,
Amazing wire. The pearl wire, which is, you know, it's relatively new and is loved by everyone. It's a fabulous colour.
We love our pearl-coloured wire as well. Sorry, I'm just holding it over here. So you've got 10 metres there in your 0.4. You've got 10 metres in your 0.8. You've got another 10 metres in your 0.4, so 20 metres of that. And you've got 10 metres of your 1 millimetre gauge, all in that pearl-coloured round copper wire. That's easy for you to say. It is completely and utterly. But what fascinates me, Claire, as well, is you've got so much of this French wire as well.
Yes,
and we've got it in different gauges for you as well, haven't we? I think there are three different gauges going on here. So a 1 millimetre gauge, a 0.9 and a 0.6, and you're getting 12-inch pieces, and you're getting 20 of the 1 millimetre and the 0.9, and you're getting 55 of the smaller, the 0.6. And French wire, just for those, because I wasn't in the know, as you know, until I asked you earlier on. French wire is almost like a very, very fine gizmoed
wire, so like a coil of very, very fine wire. So it's coiled up. So there's lots and lots of different uses for it as well.
Fantastic, and that's really, really versatile, because of course you can, and the temptation is to just start, you know, sort of pulling it apart. And you
can do designs if you pull it apart.
Fantastic, right? We'll have a little play with that, shall we, at 9 o'clock? Because we're going to have a masterclass. I've decided we're going to have a masterclass at 9 o'clock, completely and utterly, because we didn't get the chance on the first kit, so we are going to. So it's QKGC01, and that's the kit, open for pre-order right now. Now, in this hour, we've got strands. I know we can't wait to get started with that, but alas, we have to wait for an hour. I know, it is painful. Right, let's do some strands. That will make it less painful, let me tell you. Right, we'll start off with number 1 and some black spinel. Look at this. Beautiful. Again, larger pieces than we had. They were smaller faceted pieces that we had in the strand earlier on. So you've got graduated rounds this time, 5 up to 7. This is very evening glamour, isn't it? Would go perfectly with your top tonight as well. You know, just to lift. If you were leaving here, you know, and going, you know, to a dinner party, or you know, we're just joining some friends for a drink or whatever afterwards, you could simply just pop on this strand, almost, couldn't you? Simple clasp.
Yeah. But I also think as well, like just a daytime as well. I'd wear that all the time. And if you look on, you know, designs on the high street at all different levels, there's some very, very, you know, charm bracelets, isn't there? And so you have the black sparkly base, and then you add in your different charms. So especially if you've got, you know, the rose gold bolt ring clasp, not the bolt ring, lobster
The
claw.
lobster claws,
so
yeah.
you interchange your different charms. I would be definitely putting it, making my bracelet with that, and then
Yes.
and having those to add in my different charms.
Yes, you're so right, actually. Those lobster claw clasps that you saw just before 8 o'clock, the ones that we did for 50 pence each, for heaven's sake, they would be perfect size, actually, for charms.
Because they're really secure, but they don't sort of overpower whatever the charm is that you're hanging off them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really good.
Yeah. 130 carats here for you. Really, really good carat weight going for an amazing price of... Dun, 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 dun. Some years later, £10.95. There you go. That's a phenomenal price as well. Remember, for this carat weight, for these size of stones, we would expect a heftier price tag than that. You can see that £10.95 is an odd price for us. No one prices anything at £10.95, do they? It's because it should be a 14 or a 17, and we've squeezed every single percentage of margin, quite frankly. I know it's not a word we say on air, but margin. Margin is the difference between the price that we buy a strand in and what we add on the top to keep the lights on, to keep Claire in hair colour and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? That's why she can't do the whole head in rainbow. She just had to do this little highlight at the back because our margins are just too small. That's what it is, Claire, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
I'm afraid we're not going to change that tonight, unfortunately. £10.95. It's brilliant, isn't it? Really, really lovely strand. If there's anything you're looking for, by the way, just drop a message through to Daniel in the gallery via the text or the email, and we'll see what we can find, because we have got a huge amount to kind of pick and choose from tonight, actually. So if you've got something you are looking for in particular, then make sure you get it. Again, so sorry about that first kit. Completely and utterly sold out. Not surprised, and not surprised at all. We knew it would happen, actually. Completely and utterly. And just a heads up on the second kit, we're starting with less than 50 on the kits, which is not the greatest place to start, considering what happened to the kit number one and how it sold out literally within, 7-9 minutes. It had gone, including the pre-orders. Well done, Bertha, and Viv, and Barbara, Anita, Merlene, Leslie even, and Anne. Congratulations, well done you. You've all got your black spinel. Again, lovely. Favourite black gemstone, love it. Lots to get through in this hour. So, are we going smoky now? Smoky quartz in seed bead size, actually. We are in are these 2mm rounds? Yeah, 2mm rounds. So kind of CDBD size. I love it. Again, a lot of people say, okay, smoky quartz, just for the darker months of the year, just for those. No, not at all. Use it with emeralds, use it with earthy and organic tones to create really, really lovely sort of natural kind of Mother Nature tones. I love it. Beautiful. And actually, this kind of size, funnily enough, shows off smoky quartz really well, because I think if I just land that for a second, sorry, Leah, if I just show you against the darkest of backgrounds, can you see that's actually got a real nice personality that people don't often see in larger cuts of smoky quartz? Do you know what I mean? Because people consider, let's just call a spade for a second. Smoky quartz, brown gemstone. Brown gemstone, is that always, attractive in larger cuts? Well, it's horses for courses, it's whatever you like. But I just happen to think myself that actually larger cuts don't really show off the personality that this gemstone has, and which is why it kind of gets pushed into the shade and pushed into the winter sometimes.
I think it would work very nicely with the, you remember the moonstone that you had, the greys in that? Yeah, I think that would be a nice.
Yeah, we've still got some of those
over
here.
I think that would be.
Let's see.
Because it looks slightly greyer, doesn't it? Like that, like silvery colour.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it would work even with some of the orangey sort of palettes.
Yeah, all of that strand.
Because the rounds have their sparkle, of course, because they're faceted as well, microfaceted. Oh. Do you know as well, if you've got your Mayuki seed beads and they're glowing colours, the silver lines, the magentas, the mystics, the ones that have lots and lots of different colour in them, if you just want some way of making designs in your seed beads kind of stand out, if you use a slightly more muted backdrop, it almost elevates the seed bead designs. Do you know what I mean? So if you used a frame, I'll tell you what I actually mean, rather than trying to explain it very, very badly. If, for instance, you were creating a circular cog, like let's think steampunk punk for a second. So if you're making a circular cog in seed beads, if you put a rows of the smoky quartz around them, because the seed beads are so vibrant and such punchy colours, it would almost make them more 3D and make them stand out a little bit more from the design. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a bit like drawing, isn't it, or painting? Yeah. So using like your
shadowing
light
almost.
And dark. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's what I meant. Fantastic. I'm glad you understood that. I'm not sure even I did halfway through that sentence. £5.95. Karen in Ohio. Well done. Congratulations. Vanita. Parveen. Hello. Lovely to have your company tonight. Patricia's having 3 of these. Parveen's having a couple. Well done. Congratulations. Let's move on. Number 3. We're going in order tonight. We've got some labradorite, some rose quartz. We've got some shell bars. There are some carved... Is it blue lace agate in 12? Is it? It is. Got some wonderful, wonderful coated hematite, I think it is, coming up later as well. Just give you a quick squiz of those. How beautiful are they? Ooh. That reminds me of the chocolate box at Christmas time. You know what I mean? That'd be coffee cream though, so I'd steer clear of those. Go to the purple ones first. Always go to the purple ones first. Right, 90 carats of rose quartz coming up for you now. Again, delicious shape. Would work really nicely with, do you remember our our star buy of that fabulous, thank you darling, that fabulous lighter amethyst that we had as our star buy.
Pretty. Yeah, that's really pretty.
See, amethyst and rose quartz, again, it's all sometimes about putting the pairings together so that both bring out the best in each other. Now, are these, hang on a second, these are carved as well, aren't they? Oh my word, right, okay, let's have a closer look, shall we? Well, if you, I'm going to ask you an impossible question, and if it's no, then just tell me no, Claire, but do you at all have any idea how you would start as a jewellery maker trying to carve gemstones?
Oh my goodness,
Ever attempted? No?
No, I haven't.
No, because you would need some real specialist materials to do that. You couldn't just say, okay, well, I'll go in with, you know, the end of my... Dremel.
No.
Yes.
I wouldn't feel comfortable to do that at all.
And you wouldn't even use your... I can't say this word without smiling, but you know the bead reamers that you've got. You couldn't even try and you couldn't even try and ream a channel. I just can't say that word without smiling. I'm so sorry. I have no idea why, but you couldn't try, could you? And carve in some leaf veins with your with that. I don't want to say it again. This poor old Claire finished Claire off now. That's it. She'll be back at 9 o'clock with her second kit. So 90 carats of rose quartz leaves, which are just beautifully carved. No, but you know what that's for, though, don't you, Claire? For you know,
making the hole bigger.
That's right. Absolutely. But I wonder whether because
I wouldn't carve with a bead.
No, but I'm thinking because these are channels that are carved across the top of the stone. That if your reamer has got like a rough edge, like a filer.
Oh,
I don't know.
I still wouldn't. I
probably still wouldn't. I don't know why I started that at all. No idea. Just use the bead reamer for what it's for, which is making the hole bigger. 90 carats of rose quartz. We are at £7.95. Can't wait for the must-have. It's coming up in 10 minutes, by the way. It's our mini chalkboard. Although we have no chalk. Hashtag grumpy. But yeah. It's fantastic. £7.95. Well done. That's good, isn't it? I didn't realise, well, on first view, actually, because these are on a pink strand, it's quite difficult to kind of see up close the detail. There you go, you can see. You can see that lovely fading. I mean, we don't know how they did it, but we're glad they did it because we don't have to.
I would make flowers out of those and put them with the, the smoky quartz that you had before.
You would. And there's nothing funny about that. I think that's a very good suggestion. Let me show you. Oh, dearie me. That's it, we've lost the plot now. Do you know what? It's ever since the temperature went up.
Yes,
That's what it
yeah,
is. We've
it
lost
is.
the plot now.
It is.
Because it's now like the Bahamas in
It
here.
is.
I feel like a yucca that's sweating. $7.95. Right, shall we move on then? I think that's caused far enough hilarity for now. Let's go on to our chocolate bronze disco balls. These are wonderful. These are great. These are so nice. And again, I think there are lots and lots of different applications for these as well. These are delicious. Delicious. Yes, actually it's coated agate this time around. I wonder whether it was hematite because they're quite weighty actually. They're very weighty in fact. So you may use them slightly more sparingly. I'm not quite sure. There are many people that would sort of necessarily carry off a full necklace, you know, made entirely out of these. It might be feature in the middle of a bracelet, possibly, I'm not too sure whether these are slightly maybe on the weighty side for an earring drop, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't wear that many earrings to be honest.
I mean,
but...
yeah, and different people, so it's different tastes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be tempted to, I really like this like statement look like that, so maybe not in between them, or to have like a big necklace. But yeah, I mean, if you just had one, because it's so big and sparkly, you could, you know, it would really attract the eye, wouldn't it? Just the one, so you could have it saying,
yeah, it's stunning. I've just had a really off-piste idea, but let's get the price first before I start, because you know it's going to be far from the norm. $8.95. I don't know what goes on in this brand. I'm sure there's just noodles in there, by the way. No idea what goes on. But you know, going back to our previous show together,
okay.
And of course we're both surprised there's another show with us together after that one.
I know.
But there you go. Go figure. I was thinking a combination of copper wire and cerulean.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know why, because pineapples aren't this colour, but I'm thinking one of these on its own with a copper wire sort of sprouty bit to make it stand up at the bottom, and then some green cerulean at the top, sort of crafted into leaves. And you've got a pineapple kind
Which is a really popular motif, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah, absolutely. Bronze pineapples.
No, there are lots of.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there are lots of pineapples at the moment.
Oh, so it's not as silly as it sounds then?
No, there are.
Oh.
Yeah, there are lots of pineapples at the moment.
And Leah's got some pineapple there, so it is clearly very popular. Look, she's eating a slice of pineapple. And I didn't even know that when I had that idea.
Yeah, if you look at, if I say like Urban Outfitters,
right,
so if I say another couple of...
Other stores are available, like Mango and River Island and Dotty P.
So you look, especially like in interior design, home decor, it's really popular motif.
Oh, I must get out more. I must get out more. I didn't realise it come out. See, I'm just a style icon, I just don't know it.
Yeah.
£8.95. Love it, very nice. Very nice indeed. Just love the colour of that as well. Right, one more then the star buy for you. And we've got number 7, Shaded Amethyst. Why do I feel that we've done this already tonight? It was a very similar strand. Yes, it was a very similar strand, but it was actually sort of darker pieces of amethyst actually. We did have a similar strand in the first hour, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We did, because we talked about it being icy and glacial, and I love these very tactile stones. And again, never underestimate the value of wearing real gemstones, in that I just put that strand on the back of my hand here and it's instantly cool to the skin and it kind of warms with you.
Which is a lovely feeling, isn't it? I like
it is.
That, yeah.
It's nice. It's better than that sort of that clammy plastic feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
90 carats on this one of rondelles going from 5x3 to 8x4. Love that clarity as well, that range of colour. Do you know people would absolutely pay, they do on a daily basis. Every day people go out and pay small fortunes for the lighter shades of amethyst. And the lighter shades of amethyst are very attractive. I mean, look at that, beautiful, fresh, crisp lilacs, crystal clear as well. You know, very little inclusions through these stones. They are wonderful. And see, again, you know that's an unusual price for us. No one prices anything at £10.95, do they? If this was a supermarket, it would either be £9.95 or £14.95. No one really prices ever anything at £10.95. So that means, again, sorry, Claire, that's it. You're going to have to cancel that second hair appointment to have the front done, because that's the margin squashed again. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you.
Oh.
You know, it's a good start. We all love it. We all completely love it. In fact, shall we show everyone again as well? Because otherwise, people who weren't watching earlier are going to go, what are we talking about? Claire has created...
Can you see it like this? Because I actually can't see.
No, you can't really see it on the screen.
That?
Yes, you can. Claire has got... Keep turning round.
Can you see all of it? Can you see all the colours?
There you go. Claire has got a rainbow in the back of her head there. Claire is actually a unicorn. You see, they do actually exist. She's got rainbows within. That's wonderful, though. And the colour's so good. So good. £10. You know everyone's going to want the salon name and everything now, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like every time I'm on with Deb, they're like, right, okay, how did you make that purple? Zoe, guest designer Zoe, says, hi Derek and Claire. When I first started teaching, we used chalk and a blackboard. Now we have interactive whiteboards. I feel old.
Yes, yeah, Zoe's right. And when you were at school, that's what you did, wasn't it? It was
I can remember still now the chalk rubber flying past my head.
And all the like,
Marks, you stupid boy! Yeah, I can still remember it.
Oh,
it's all right. It's fine. It missed. I just got the dust on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I remember. The puffs of dust coming up.
Do you know what I think as well? Actually, back in the day, please don't take offence, anyone who either is or has been this occupation. But back in the day, weren't teachers so old? These days, they're like kids, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. I think that with doctors as well. Though,
that's true, actually.
I'm old now.
Yes, that's true. When I was growing up, all the doctors were like, you could, which is why they used to say that thing about the writing, didn't they? How the heck does the pharmacist read that? Because the doctors were quite old. Yeah. Knocking on a bit. Anyway, sorry. No offence if you were a doctor or were a teacher or have ever been. Elaine says, also remember the rag and bone man. Yeah, rag and bone. I remember that. They used to come around, they're a bit like the scrap metal merchants, but they take anything, wouldn't they? They take clothes and stuff. Elaine said, I really can't say that, Mike, got into mega trouble once for giving him mum's cardigan in exchange for goldfish in a jam jar.
Oh, gosh.
It died, I got smacked. Oh, well, at least there was a happy ending, eh? At least the goldfish was there still after the smack. Elaine, thank you so much. Bless you. What a lovely message. Yes, actually, you used to get things, you used to swap things, didn't you, with the rag and bone man? So you'd give him...
I don't think I remember the rag and bone man.
It sounds so sinister when you say it out loud, doesn't it? Now, hang on a second. This doesn't sound legal. Right, so you give him a cardigan. Right, let's get back to our amethyst. Seriously, this is going in the wrong direction. Let's look at our amethyst again. Right, so I give you some dice. Oh dear, I'm so glad it's must-have time in a moment. Well done on your shaded amethyst. In fact, there's a whole one of you that has that strand, so I think we're ready to move on, shall we? Should we do our must-have? Yeah, let's do our must-have. And please, let's not think of the rag and bone man at all. It's time for this. But only imagine, what that 10 seconds, that sting. It really needed to be 3 times over. Oh, dearie me. Right, okay, it's time for the must-have right now. I'll just put my makeup on again in a moment. Today's must-have is just fantastic. I love it. It's brilliant. This is a little wooden easel with your little chalkboard, and the two come separately and individually, so you can actually have it landscape like that and it just sits on the little stand, or you can have it portrait like that, so north to south. Yeah, it does look a little bit technological. Tell the kids it's a new phone. so sorry. I don't know. There's something in the air conditioning tonight. Tell them you've got a new phone for Christmas. It's a smaller one. It's cleverer. It's thinner. Got better battery life. Right, anyway, what are these for? Well, apart from, playing tricks on your little ones, it would be, they are fantastic for merchandising. And I'm so sorry we don't even have a piece of chalk here in Ivy House, unfortunately, or a little chalk pen, because I wanted to write, there are 1,000 things that have gone through my head to write on this, as you can imagine, since 4 o'clock this afternoon when I first saw this. And it's great, but of course, primarily it's for your merchandising. Imagine if you're doing a craft fair, if you're raising money for charity, if you're, you're doing a school fair, and it might be, actually, you've got a cake stall. It might be you're watching right now, and jewellery making is one of your things, but you also make cuddly toys, you also make cakes for the Scouts fair, or whatever it might be, or the church hall fete, and you want some way of merchandising. Maybe you've got a little coffee shop. Maybe jewellery making is a little bit of a side thing that you do for pleasure, and your work is you have a coffee shop or something like that. Let's bring your price in straight away, because I think these are brilliant. The only kind of place I could ever think of where you could buy something like this, I'm going to say it out loud because I'm not knocking them or denigrating them, I promise you that, is somewhere like Paper Chase, where you would look for something like this. But you would pay a little bit more for them, and I don't know that they would have that many in stock. We have got, I'm going to be honest with you, hands up, we've got, 500 of these in stock right now. If you go into a single branch of any shop, and believe you me, I'm not denigrating any other store, but if you went into a branch of Paper Chase or WH Smith's or any kind of craft supplier that happened to have something like this, they would not have 500 of them. They probably have, 5 or 10 at the very most, and that would be about it. £2.95, and you've got that, which is great. You're right, absolutely. Daniel says that's the price of a coffee, isn't it? In fact, actually, that's probably only a medium. You probably wouldn't get a very large coffee for that, depending on where you're going. If you want instant, then you can pay less. But coffee shops these days, it's a good 250, 270, 280 thereabouts. And remember, because you can wipe this clean when you're using either the chalk pens with it, or you're using real chalk, and I would use small pieces of chalk on this so you can get the detail, then these are brilliant. And again, use them either way around. Use them landscape like that. That's portrait even. Use them portrait like that, or use them landscape like that, and it's brilliant. And of course they fold away to next to nothing. I'll do the size for you. The actual chalk screen itself, you got me at it now, is 3 inches by 2 inches, and the stand at its full height is 4 inches. So there you go, and you are getting one of those for £2.95, and it really is a must-have. And even if you don't need one, you kind of will find a reason to have one.
Yeah, I think think about weddings as well. I mean, with I just think it would fit in very nicely with that, and the fact that you could decorate it yourself too, couldn't you?
Yeah,
so
you could.
But I think if you're doing any sort of craft fair, if you're selling it at all, to have that flexibility of being able to change a price if you need to is yeah.
It is.
Brilliant.
I mean, for dynamic pricing, it's really good, because I think often lots of businesses go to the trouble of having things professionally printed and everything else, and then that kind of ties you to a price. And you know what happens sometimes if you go to a store that's had the same menu for a long, long time, and it's up there on the wall, and suddenly the price of a toasted tea cake changes from £1.55 to £1.95. You just see an ugly great big 9 that doesn't match the rest of the numbers, and it just looks a bit silly, and it just looks a bit, hang on a second, I've really noticed that now, because not only have you changed the price, but I can obviously see that you've just used a completely different number, etc, etc, etc. With this, you can price dynamically, but it's not really for that. I actually think, moreover, this is for using that space to really kind of extol the virtues of what you have on offer. So if you are, I mean, you could just have a little paper tag which said emerald bracelet, £25. Or on this, you could elaborate, and you could say genuine Brazilian 15-carat emerald gold-plated bracelet. Now that sounds a lot more attractive, doesn't it, than emerald bracelet, £25. You know, actually, the more descriptive you are, and you're being completely honest, but you're being descriptive, and you're pointing out the features. That's what, if you like, sales is all about. It's about saying, okay, what's really good about that, and also, conversely, what's not necessarily so good about it. So it's very good at this, and it might not be very good at that. I'll tell you everything. But I think actually in your merchandising, you can afford to be really, really smart. And this, of course, you can use again and again and again. And of course, when something is gone, it's easy to just take it away as well, isn't it? Margaret, well done. Kath, Pauline, Anita, Julie, Sharon has 10 of these coming your way. And again, I think it's an excellent price tag. I really do. It's something you only ever really need to buy once if you think about it. So even if you're looking at the cost at £2.95 and you're thinking, I'm not sure, remember it's something you only need to buy once, and then it is there for you. And of course you can use it again and again and again and again. And you have it there to offer it as a service as well. You know, if you use it for, as Claire said, as place settings for a wedding, or, you know, displaying anything that you sell. And it might be different things that you sell. It might be jewellery that you're selling one weekend, and next weekend you're, you know, selling your cakes or your produce or your chutneys or whatever it may be. Very, very useful. Very, very useful. I should leave those with you because I know it's one of those things that's not terribly the most exciting thing to see on telly, you know, over and over and over and over again. But I think it's a nice, useful resource if you are selling your pieces. Right, let's get back in to some gemstone strands right now. It's like the love of our life, this gemstone at the moment. It's beautiful. I just know though, and I don't know when it will kind of be and when it will happen, but Claire all of a sudden will say those immortal words that we've said many times over the years with gemstones. Oh, do you remember when we used to have labradorite? Oh. We are going to say that one day, aren't we? Yeah. At the moment, it does feel like we have, you know, plentiful bounty of this gemstone. But believe you me, mark my words, there'll be one day where you're thinking, if only I could get hold of a labradorite strand to go with that. And it will happen one day.
Never, ever have enough labradorite. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fabulous shape as well.
And it's Madagascan, of course, and you know there's something about that location. Actually, Leah, weren't we planning a trip to Madagascar? I've not had the email about the tickets yet, because we were going gem hunting, weren't we, in Madagascar? Fancy coming, Claire, as well?
Yes, please.
Why not? Yeah.
Yes, please.
More the merrier. Some fantastic gemstones in Madagascar. Yeah, and there's lots of lovely wildlife. I don't think they have big spiders there either, so I think we're all right in that department as well. I think. Not sure. Might need to do some research. Might need to go in a big boiler suit otherwise. 78 carats of graduated faceted drops. 5x3s up to 11x5s on this one, so lots of very, very usable gemstones. Actually, some of them are longer and slimmer. And some of them are a little bit more petite and wider. They've all got amazing... Ooh. Shut the front door. Really? Shut the back door as well, actually. £8.95. Actually, do the back first, then the front. £8.95. Jacqueline, well done. Hello, Beverly. Hello, collector in Buckinghamshire. All right there, Claire.
Yeah, I'm good.
Linda is in North Yorkshire. Hello, Linda. Nice to have you with us. Fantastic colours through this strand as well, aren't they? Beautiful. They're amazing. They're so lively. Oh, I love it. Again, I still have, in my bag, in fact, I was going to get it in the 8 o'clock break, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
My Sarah Loon
yeah,
pendant, I've forgotten. And my big polished labradorite stone. Have I shown you my...
No,
have I
I
not?
haven't seen that. No.
Haven't I? Oh, I've actually got one. Oh, if I left this strand on the desk, would the mic reach all the way to the dressing room, Mike? Because I can go and grab it now. Would it? Yeah. Well, shall we do that? Shall I leave that there? You've got the animation to look at. Listen, it's Saturday night. If you can't break the rules on a Saturday night, when can you? Right, I'll be back. I'm going to the dressing room. I won't be a second. It's all right, I can carry on talking while I'm there. It's absolutely fine. I've never done this here. I quite fancied the wander. So, I'm just going into the dressing room and I'm going to get my Sarah Loon pendant. So the last show we did with Claire, we did the Sarah Loon. And we did I did a wonderful pendant, and it was basically, my pendant was made out of small beads that were scavenged from around the studio. Oh, and I can't find it. I'm definitely going to find it. I'll find that in the 9 o'clock break, but I will bring my very, very large... I'm coming down the tunnel of love, by the way. Here I come. I'm like Peter Kay now. Show me the way to Amarillo. Right, here I come. It's got to be done though, isn't it? Look.
Oh my word.
Look at that. There you go. Look at the size of that.
Oh my goodness.
I know. That's huge, isn't it? It's beautiful. I love it and adore it. I'm going to bring my cerulean pendant. That needs a bit more fishing work, so I'll do that in the 9 o'clock break. Oh, I'm exhausted now. Tell me how beautiful it is.
That's incredible.
It's nice, isn't it?
I've not seen that's amazing.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you just carry that around with you? I would carry it around with me.
Not generally, just because I've been here so much recently and I've been showing every guest designer that I can bore silly with it. But I love it. It's beautiful. I love it.
I really don't want to give it back to you though. No.
Well, as much as I'm very fond of you, Claire, it is one of my pride and joy pieces. It's lovely. I have a little collection of stones at home. I've got some not Ethiopian, mint Arby opal and
that is amazing.
Stunning, isn't it? Anyway, and so is this strand as well at £8.95. It's lovely, isn't it?
It is.
I just love it.
That was worth going to get, definitely.
I do, definitely. Remind me to get my cerulean pendant in the break. Right. Time for some... Now, some of this is amethyst, some of it is ametrine. Can you see up here? We're actually looking at these two are actually ametrini. In fact, I'm going to whiz them round, Mike, and you might see them from the other way, and you might be able to see what I can see. Yeah. Can you see the essences of citrine in these two? Yeah. Look at that. I love these shapes, and I love the faceting. Just allows the light to come all of the way in, doesn't it? So 60 carats of pink amethyst. Well, that's a longer walk than you think, actually, out there, isn't it? And back?
It is, yeah.
Whew, dearie me. Not as young as I was. Let's take this under £10. Oh, my word. Honestly, it's like sale Saturday today, isn't it, all of a sudden? All the strands that we've had tonight have been spectacular, and you wait until we get to our 9 o'clock kit. I mean, seriously. It's on pre-order already, by the way, including 5 metres of black freshwater pearls and so much more, including the pearl-coloured copper wire and the French wires as well, which is brilliant. I mean, the pearls alone should be £100. So we've got a really, really good opportunity coming your way at 9 o'clock. And Claire has made just one of the most spectacular pearl necklaces that you have ever seen. I mean, have a look. It's extraordinary. I honestly, I adore it. It's lovely. Do we refer to that as a kind of a bib? Because I
suppose it would be a bib, yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be a bib, yeah.
It's lovely. It's got an amazing texture to it. What would be the dress for that, do you think? Something with a nice sort of open neckline, obviously.
Yes, yeah. And I think you could wear any colours as well.
Would it be the LBD, maybe?
Yes, could be, couldn't it?
Could be.
Yeah.
Or something starkly the other way. It could be in like a lovely...
a white or a cream.
Yeah, or a fiery red.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be rather nice. Anyway, that's at 9 o'clock in the kit. It's lovely. I can't keep my eyes off it. It's just delicious. So that's coming up at 9 o'clock for you. Right now, though, we have got 60 carats of pink amethyst for you at under a £10 note. In fact, less than £9 on this one. £8.95. 0800 644 655, and that is yours right now. Pop it into your basket. Oh, do you know, I love these strands. They're like a mini strand of shell bars. We've had them in so many different colours. I adore them. I just think the time it takes I mean, obviously they're dyed the colour that this is, but of course that doesn't lose anything. It's just the fact that shell is porous and it will take on a dye and a colour. But the fact that someone has taken the time and the trouble to sculpt those pieces and then to arrange them into these graduations, however many times, you know, over that we have this available, and we've had them in blues and greens in almost every colour under the sun. Honestly, hats off to it is craftsmen that actually work with these shell by hand to craft them. It's not, they don't just feed shell pieces into one end of a machine and they spit these out at the other. This kind of thing is all done painstakingly by hand. And again, you look at the price tag and it just belies all of the work that goes into it. These are all individual, by the way. So obviously these are, at the moment, they're on a thread. So you just sort of take them off and you can use them as many ways as you like to. You could take that almost like an Art Deco piece that it gives you straight away and then add other elements to that if you want to. In fact, I actually think that orange might be rather nice with, controversially, might be quite nice with some tanzanite. And we've got some tanzanite rondelles coming up a little bit later on.
That's a really nice combination.
It is, like, it's not an obvious combination either.
No, but it works really well. And I think the size, so it's the colour as well, but the size and the shape of the two work really well.
And you could always create a piece, that's be a bit of a challenge, I guess, but you could always create a piece where those tanzanite did sit above like that in their own row, quite apart from the shell. They are delicious. £8 and 95 pence for the shell bars. We have got the tanzanite coming up a little bit later on, actually, as a star buy. And there's another little wheels of amethyst coming up as a star buy later, which you will really love. But this is delicious. We're calling it coral coloured. I would beg to differ ever so slightly. I would say that this is verging more towards I would say a soft tangerine. A soft tangerine kind of tone. Do you agree, Claire?
Yes,
I think it's
would,
sort of,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like are they clementines?
Yes.
Clementine.
Yes. Yes, soft oyster clementine. £8 and 95 pence. Right, well done everyone. Congratulations. Oh, is it? Which one is it? The amethyst I was just talking to you about. It's time for it right now. Hit it, Mike. I'm glad you get to see these right now, and well done, Mike. Obviously a DJ in waiting there as well. Oh, did you? You used to DJ? Well, there you go. And it shows. Do you know, I think I was one of the very, very first ever MP3Js back in, I would say, when was it now? Now, this was at the dizzy heights of Pleasure Beach, Blackpool. Now when would that have been? 2000 maybe? Yeah, 2000. And I had all my music imported onto my computer. So when I did a wedding, for instance, and someone said to me, "Have you got Come On Eileen?" I would... or any other song. It could have been any other song, couldn't it, really? "Have you got 5, 6, 7, 8?" I could actually type it into my computer and I would know whether I've got it. Anyway, Amethyst. I don't know how we got onto that. That's the one they always wanted, though.
It's a good song.
It's a good song, yeah. It's a very good song. 55 carats now of amethyst wheels.
I used to wear a lot of dungarees because of...
Did you? Because of, what was his name? Kevin somebody other, wasn't it?
Dexy's Midnight Runners, wasn't it?
Was that ever a good look, though? Was that ever, like I'm guessing that you would have been, teenage years?
Yes.
In the days of Dexys. Yeah. Was that like a hot, as in, gosh, I wish my boyfriend looked like that kind of look? No? Or was it just out
when
there?
I looked at him? No,
edgy?
No, yeah. I don't know. I just remember thinking it was quite, I don't know, alternative.
Dungarees.
Yeah. So I had a lot of dungarees.
Just a passing phase, though.
I don't wear them very much now. I had a perm as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
now
it was so awful that people thought I had like naturally curly hair.
there
'cause
must
it
be
was
pictures
just
of that we
horrendous.
would just have to see one day.
Yeah, they were
Definitely.
shocking. Yeah.
Okay, your mum might be watching actually. She's watching right now. You know how to get in touch with us. You can find one of those lovely pictures, a little Polaroid somewhere in one of the bottom drawers. Right, back to our amethyst wheels now. I love any gemstone that's cut into wheels. We had an Ethiopian opal strand of wheels a few weeks ago, and I love that. I just think it's such an interesting, edgy way to cut a gemstone. It's just so different. And they're so beautifully
Colour's
unique.
fabulous, isn't it, as well?
And it's more the kind of shade that you would...
Ooh.
Yes. It's more the kind of shade you'd expect from kind of Zambian amethyst, actually. It's very, very deep. This is Brazilian amethyst. Seriously, right, I'm just going to put that over my hand as well so you can see the depth of the colour. Because, you know, skin tone, you know, what cannot speak, cannot lie. Look at that. So I've shown you against a purely almost, you know, absolutely white background, but now the slightly warmer tone of my skin. Look. They are so deep, aren't they? I do love the wheel shape in any gemstone. I don't know what it is. I just think, you know, you so often see gemstones cut in exactly the same way again and again and again and again and again, which is great and it's fine. But sometimes you think, here they are again, here they are again. And it leads you into obvious places where a wheel cut, if indeed this is, you know, so if there is such a cut, but the wheel shape from a gemstone just leads your mind into so many different directions, doesn't it?
I think with those flat edges with the, do you remember when you had the curved spacer bars? I think so. How they've got the spacers there.
Yes.
I think I'd have the longer curved spacers as well.
Yeah.
Because that would really, obviously, it would make it a lot longer. So it'd be, probably you could do a necklace really long, you know, so long you probably wouldn't need a clasp on it if you had all of those.
Yeah.
But it would really show off the flat edges on the.
Yeah, you're right. It would
wheels.
highlight it much more, wouldn't it? Actually, if you have one of those really, I don't think I've got. Oh yes, I have still got them here. Actually, we had the longer spacer beads tubes actually in silver earlier. They came in a pack of 10. I don't know whether we still have them or not. Actually, I think they were 20 millimeters long. But imagine one of those wheels sitting right smack bang in the middle of that. It would massively accentuate it, wouldn't it? Delicious.
Or you could get the same effect with your French wire as well.
Yeah, which is coming up in your kit in just, well, minutes from now. How quick has this hour gone, by the way? It's like I looked at the clock and it was 8 o'clock. There you go.
It's that little run that you had in the...
That's what it was, yeah, it's energised me. What we've learnt in the last hour as well. Right, let's get a few more in before... blue lace agate. It's lovely. Hang on, you sit there, you're not just a paperweight. Right. Okay, so these are double drilled as well. So they're drilled at either end. And you're getting 1, 2... Are we guaranteeing the carat weight or the sizes? Let's see. 60 carats. So we're guaranteeing the carat weight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in this particular selection. In that 60 carats, and they're all ovals, I think, are they? Yes, ovals. So 17 by 12s up to 20 by 17s. They're all double drilled, as you can see, at either end. Nice, good for wire wrapping for rings.
These are relatively new. I only saw them the other, and they are. It's so exciting that we're doing these now because they're so usable now. So usable.
Let me just give you that as a solitaire size for a ring, and that's one of the larger ones. Of course, I think you'd probably have it more that way, maybe. But either way, really, in a wire wrap. In fact, that would be the more logical way to do it, wouldn't it? Because you've got the drill holes on either side. Lovely. I love the quality of the gemstone as well. I mean, this is beautiful. The blue lace agate just always delivers. If you love, you've heard of a gemstone called Larimar from the Dominican Republic. It's a very, very similar kind of hint and palette going through to that. That's wonderful for $9.95, isn't it? Congratulations if you've got those. Let us move on. And I'm just squeezing a couple more in just because we're running out of time in the hour. You can see that the time is marching on, so I've got some clear quartz drops for you now. Again, little briolets. that have been gorgeously, gorgeously faceted, again meticulously. I'd kind of be tempted to bunch those and let the light just flow in and bounce around in lots and lots of different directions. Just adorable. I mean, look at that.
That's, yeah, it's like a spotlight, isn't it?
It's amazing. And again, we don't have special spotlights in this studio for jewellery. So you're seeing the gemstones at their finest. And let me tell you, every gemstone that you buy, if it looks good on TV, looks far better in reality. I promise you that.
Wow.
And we've got a 30-day guarantee anyway. So, you know, if we were wrong in that in any way, shape or form, or you're not happy with your strand in any way, you can send it back. No questions asked. It's a 30-day, it's a no questions money back guarantee, which is really, really good. I think that's exceptional, especially when you're buying something like this. Because, of course, you know, we know from strand to strand to strand, you know, there will be slight differences. Mother Nature created these. They weren't created by a machine. So every strand will be ever so slightly different. But if you're not happy with your strand, then please do return it. We want you to be happy many, many times rather than being disappointed once and never coming back. We always want you to be happy. $8.95. That's so bright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very bridal as well. I would say put that with the, you know, the pearl wire.
Yeah.
And
yes.
that's your perfect bridal.
You could, very much so. I'll just show you that that combination. Yes, it would work really nicely, actually, the pearl wire. Lovely. Right, one more. I can fit in one more. Number 40. Sorry, something just dropped and I have no idea what it was. I heard something drop, but I didn't see what it was. I don't know. Probably just another marble out of my ear, that's all. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. 100 carats this time. So these are much, much bigger pieces, as you can see. They're smaller, they're stouter. Do you know what they remind me of? Little, what did they call them? The, oh, now, you know the things that you keep your brandy in? Crystal glass.
Oh,
decanters.
yeah.
They're like mini rounded decanters, aren't they?
But they're perfect shape for ring design, because you're going to see, so you'd obviously wire it in at the bottom into your ring shank, and then you'd see all of that big, yeah, it'd be lovely.
Right, let me do that. Let me just create that look very, very quickly, because I know we're running out of time. £9.95. Let's just take one of these really clear ones round here. So what Claire's talking about is obviously you discount those, but that creates your great big hot rock solitaire look, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's fab.
How delicious is that? That is nice. Good idea. I like that. Very nice. And you could create similar as sort of very, very almost stud earrings. Not much of a drop. Keeping them nice.
Yes,
keeping them nice and close to the ear. That would work, wouldn't it? £9.95. Again, two ways to order, as you know, via the web, JewelleryMaker.com, or you can give us a call on that free phone number 0800 644 655, and you can check out as many times as you like between now and midnight. Only 1p&p. And we still don't know yet from you whether your preference is crumpets or muffins, do we?
Crumpets all the way.
Seems to be crumpets in these quarters, although you'll never get a crumpet from me. Never at all. Awful. Awful. They just soak everything up. Even if you just go for jam on its own, no butter, even that goes... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the consistency. I would rather... Remember bath sponges? We don't really have bath sponges anymore, do we? But if you cut one of those in half and ate it, I'm sure that's the same kind of thing as a crumpet, isn't it? Anyway, we'll debate that and lots more. And 5 metres of pearl coming up in 2 minutes from now.
Our Jewellery Maker community is a fantastic platform to share, learn, chat and make new friends. So why not like our Facebook page and join over 64,000 like-minded people.
The Jewellery Maker phone is free from a UK landline, so call us today to place your order.
Jewellery Maker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information.
Welcome to Jewellery Maker. We are part of the Immediate Media family. Immediate Media is a fast-growing multimedia platform company who operates some of the most loved brands across the UK. Our brands range from our other shopping TV channel, The Sewing Quarter, to our very successful magazines, such as Simply Knitting, Molly Makes, and the Radio Times. We work incredibly hard to inspire you and bring you lots of exciting ideas and projects. So whatever your creative needs, you know that our crafting family will be there for you. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Did you know that if you go to JewelleryMaker.com and sign up to our mailing list, then you'll receive 10% off your first order with us. We'll also keep you updated with special offers, themed shows, program guides and Jewellery Maker tutorials. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Did you know, no matter how many times you purchase with Jewellery Maker in the same day, you'll only be charged one fee of postage and packaging. Select our standard delivery for just £2.95, or if you'd like to receive your goods sooner, upgrade to our premium option for £4.95. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share. Welcome back. I can't believe it's the final hour already. I cannot believe it's the final hour. It's just gone so quickly. I just feel like we've laughed our way through 3 hours. It's been fantastic. I must just show you before we do the serious business of this hour. What are you laughing at already?
No, I didn't mean to laugh.
Laughing at my Sarah Loon pendant. You said it was very nice when we made it.
It is really nice. It is really nice.
It's very rustic, I like to think.
It's colourful, isn't it?
It is colourful. Remember this pendant that I made with Claire on the last show? It's very, I like to think, artisan. I think, remember I called this Flotsam and Jetsam?
Yeah, that little footprint is still in there, isn't it?
Yeah,
in the sand.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. I'm a very proud moment of mine. It's lovely. It's getting a more sandy texture as it goes on. Yeah, I'm not thinking of retailing it, Mike, it's fine. I'll put it up for auction one day, but that's my Sarah Loon pendant. Anyway, it shows you how good Sarah Loon is, though, because absolutely they've held fast and steady. That hasn't changed a bit, and now it's solid as anything.
Yes.
And it was all made from foraged beads from around the studio floor, remember? So, you know, I didn't have time to put any design thought into it because I was acquiring elements.
But you've said like festival and carnival, and it's got that feel to it, hasn't it?
You have recovered. You have recovered
I'm sorry
yourself.
for laughing.
So you should be. I'm extremely offended. Right, okay, let's show you our second kit for tonight because this, again, extraordinary. I'll just show you straight away, first of all, you've got the 5 metres of pearls here. Now, Daniel, if you can pop the details next to me of the list of everything that's there, I'll just compare and show you the details that I've got here. Right, so in the pearls, I'm not sure if my details and the web details are quite right, actually, on this. But it does... Can you go back to that previous list, Daniel? Sorry. There we go. Yes. So 5 metres of black freshwater pearls. We've got one 1 metre strand, which is 3 to 4. 2 of the 1 metre strands are approximately 6 to 7 millimetres. In size, the potato pearls, but in total you're getting 5 metres of black freshwater pearls. Now I had Phil check out, and a kit, when we make a kit is made of various elements. So this pearl coloured copper wire, this 10 metres of pearl copper wire 0.4 is one item code on its own, and then of course we bundle it into what becomes QKGC01. So I had Phil bring out all the individual elements and cost up for me just the price of the pearls. Now the 5 metres of pearls has never been on air standalone. It's only ever been part of kits. In the birthday week I think it was in a kit. there or thereabouts. I think as a make-along. I think Gemma Crow was telling us earlier it was part of a make-along. So it's been in a kit for that, and it's in this kit now. But if this element of tonight's kit was standalone on its own, the 5 metres of pearls would be $99.95 on its own. So if we price this kit right now at $99.95, technically speaking, you would only be paying for the pearl element of this kit. But of course, the pearl element is far from, you know, the cut and thrust of, you know, the entirety of this kit. You also have your pearl coloured round wire. Now, in the bundle tonight, in the pearl coloured round wire, you're getting 10 metres of the 1 mil. You are getting, is it 20 metres of the 0.4? Is that right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, 20 metres of the 0.4. And you're also getting 10 metres of the 0.8 as well, which is superb. So, and that's just the copper wire itself. So there you go. So it's 10 metres of 1 mil, 20 metres of 0.4. Oh, is it 20 of 0.8 as well? Oh, graphic says 2 lots. Hang on, there's only 4 reels in that still there, which is what I've got here. Did you just get one of the 0.8? Yes, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. What is the total? What does it say in the wire? 40 metres. Yes, that would be right. 10 metres of 1 mil, 20 metres of 0.4, 10 metres of 0.8. And if that were it, it would be phenomenal. But you also have 3 different gauges of your French wire. Now, Claire will talk us through the French wire and what we can do with it and everything else. But this is silver-plated French wire. It's in 12-inch lengths. You've got 20 lengths of the 1mm gauge, 20 lengths of the 0.9mm gauge, and 55 pieces of the 0.6mm gauge. And it's fair to say that in your spectacular design, Claire, you haven't used the French wire.
I've used the French wire at the back, so exactly how it is, you know, the usual use for it. Yeah. So I can turn. Do you want me to turn it round so you can see the? I'll just come in and just. Oh,
hello.
Sorry.
Hello. You've got 3 minutes in the break for that kind of thing. Remember. Bless you. Never mind. It happens to everyone. It's all right. Don't be embarrassed. We're all friends here.
All right. I am going to blush though now, and I want you to know. See.
Right, French white. Yes, it is the bust.
So you can see here. So that's its sort of traditional use.
Yeah.
There, so the little bit there to protect the thread or your silk or whatever you're going to use with your pearls. Yes. But then I've also gizmoed it in the earrings down here, so you can see what that's another use.
Can you explain in words that a 6-year-old would understand and fairly briefly what French wire actually is?
So it's a fine, it's a very, very fine wire that has been coiled up so that you can sort of pull it out and you have like a lovely long coil, which is really, really good for if you need to fill areas in. So you can use it. I use it quite a lot in brooches, and you just use it and use your other wires like a needle and thread, but you can roll it up, so you can pull it out, roll it up almost like you would do clay, and it creates like just a big ball of wire.
So I can take one piece like this, which is at the moment is this length, and it's sort of floppy wire, I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
But you can actually, it's like a big spring almost.
Yes, it's really satisfying,
isn't it?
Go
and go and go. Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from that 12-inch piece, I've just, oh my word, it just goes on and on. And I've still not got to the end. You can see the end there. And I can still get it. Yeah, Mike, of course I can put it straight back afterwards. That's fine. No problem at all. Oh, blimey, I'm still going. So actually, when also I know with the shows that I've had with Deb as well, if you're creating like a wirewood kind of nest or texture or something like that, you can use this for them.
Yeah,
but this would give you a finer kind of definition, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And actually, it's good. I still haven't done the other end yet. Like it's still going and going and going and going and going. It's like magic. It's magic. And again, so you can kind of scrunch it together.
Yeah, and mould with it. Yeah, so it's a fabulous medium.
That's fantastic. I'm going to have to put it down though, because you know what me, if I've got things to fiddle with, I will fiddle with them. So, have we got a web price for this, Daniel? Like an entire What's the entire price? There's our price for the kit tonight.
Wow.
I have to say, many of these kits have sold already. In fact, if everyone who has this in their basket checks out now, half of the entire quantity has already gone. Remember how quickly kit number 1 sold out. Our web price would be the elements, because the pearls themselves, this is because the pearls themselves, if they were sold individually, the 5 metres worth of those black freshwater pearls would be sold for $99.95 if we were doing them. So that's why the web price, the French wire, the pearl coloured round wire, the combination of those takes the entire wear price up to £141 and 9 pence. Now, I've got 9 pence. That sounded like old money, didn't it? 2 shillings and 3 pence. Right, okay. Now, if we yes, let's go to a still, and then I will go over and join Claire, because this time I'm determined that we're going to see all the demonstration that we possibly can. So I'll take the kit. I'll bring the kit over with me. And Claire, you have made one of the most spectacular pearl pieces that I have ever seen. It's big, it's beautiful, it's glamorous, it uses so many different skills and techniques. It is just utterly delicious. Right, I'm here.
Thank you.
I'm here. I just love it. And again, I just want to scale that up in proportion for you for a second, because this is the piece. I know we've taken pictures of it, and they've been on Facebook and Twitter for the last 24 hours or so. But if you just kind of scale that for a second against someone, you'll just realise what a spectacular piece. And even you've kind of sized matched in the right areas here as well, haven't you? You've taken the time and the trouble to size match where it's appropriate too.
And it's, I think as well, I think if you do something like that, it is actually wearable, because it's very, very fluid. So how we're going to see how to sort of construct the pattern. It's very, very fluid. It's very like like chainmail. So you know, it's
yeah, it is. It's delicious. It's got a wonderful. And again, the great thing about that is that, you know, it curves to you and your shape, to your collarbone, you know, and again, it's lovely. Pearls are wonderfully cool to the touch as well, to the skin.
And someone had messaged, put a message about having turning it into a bolero. So you know, if you budget allowed and getting a couple of the kits, you know, you could, you know, have a fabulous, absolutely fabulous bolero. I think that would work really, really nicely.
That's a good idea, isn't it? Right, okay, I'm sorry to do this, but the same thing is happening as happened with our first kit tonight. In fact, it's turned everyone haywire, as you can see. We've got shots going in and out, cameras doing things by themselves. We've got all sorts going on. If everyone that has this in a web basket right now checks out their basket, then we are in single figures already for this kit. Again, maybe we will now question the wisdom of whether we should have opened the pre-orders up, but it's great for you if you've got it already. I know a lot of people wanted to just guarantee it and get it, and well done if you have. Right, okay, time for me to zip it completely, Claire, because we need to learn some of the key techniques that you've used in creating this wonder. Okay,
so what we're going to create is, so all of that necklace is built up almost like these almost like, I don't know, snowflake or triangles. So it's a very, very, it's sort of following a pattern and very, very repetitive. So, and because you've got the gauges of wire that you have, so for speed, I've used some of the, if you've got eye pins in your stash or jump rings, but you can make with with your 1mm wire, and you can add in. So you know you can sort of, if you wanted to do everything in the pearl wire, you know you could do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work now. So show you. So you can see, if you see on the board there, you can see the little that sort of that snowflake.
And is that whole design built on?
Yes. Yeah.
Continuation of those.
So it's these. So but as we sort of start to work on them, sometimes it's easier to work with. So that you've got, if we forget sort of like the outer edge, that you're just working either with your 6 prongs that come off, or you start to work and think about it as little triangles like that. So you can, if you follow it, you can do your own. So you could do a much smaller version if you wanted to, or you do the full version. And you know, when you have a look at the photographs, and you can count out the number of rows, because it drops down to get that V. So you do one less each
So
row.
you just come in doing that.
Yes, yeah.
Fabulous.
So as a starting point for how I work and how I tend to find that if I'm making something and I want a lot of one component, so if I'm going to be doing rosary linking or a lot of wrap loops, I'll try and get everything. I'll do the same thing over and over again rather than doing the whole of one link. So if we have a look here, so that's the little bit that I'm going to be making. On a larger scale, I would just do I would do it on a heavier gauge wire, and I would just do a straightforward, simple loop. But if you're going to work on the smaller scale like this, and you're going to work with your 0.4, I would definitely recommend doing a wrap loop. So for something like this, what I need to do, I want to start to set up all my so I've got like a little bit of a conveyor belt, and it just makes it easier and quicker. So I'd start with my 0.4. And I'd do several, so I'm just going to cut that there. I'd do several all in one go little loops like that. So my starting point would be, so I'd cut a length off and I'd do my wrap loop. So I'm going to just leave the longer length and do my straightforward wrap loop. So I'm just working, so I've done so I've got my first, so if we start from the very, very basic, so I've got my wrap loop, so I've got my wire in there, I'm going to do a right angle, so if I hold it like that, that's it, you'll see it better, there we go. So I'm going to go all the way over, so you can see I'm moving, keeping the wire still, keeping my pliers still, and I'm moving the wire around, and I've got my little coat hanger, so I'd pop my pliers back in and bring round, so you can see now. So now I'm just going to wrap this small tail around the longer tail, and what I would do is I'd go along and I'd do several of those, you know, as many as I can sort of really face doing all in one go.
How many turns to finish it off on the actual wrap?
I like to do three turns of that.
Okay.
To try and get it. Ooh.
Then cut the rest off.
Yeah, and then just trim that off. So I would have gone along and made, so you can see, so that's the first bit of my conveyor belt. So I've got my three little. So I'd make quite a few of those. So that's my starting point. My next bit is I would go along and I've got I've cut the pearl strands and they're all in their set groups. I've just thrown one of those off somewhere. That could go in your pendant.
Good.
So I've got the smallest, and then I've got the middle size, and then I've got another of the smaller one. So on the necklace, what I've used is I've used the largest on the main necklace. So this would actually be one of the larger pearls, and then the two medium size. So you know you've got within this one kit you've got lots and lots of different varieties. You can scale it up, scale it down, which is a nice feat. You know, lovely to have all those pearls in one kit. So now, to finish that off, to make that little component, so I'm going to just do exactly the same on the other side. So I come out at my right angle, and I always try and hit. I know that if I sort of catch about almost like a third of the way from the top, I know that when I start to wrap down, that's about 3 wraps. If I pushed it all the way up here and had that as the stalk, I know it's going to be more than 3 wraps. So what you might see sometimes, guest designers might have a little mark in their pliers, and so they know exactly where to hit.
And that's just experience with your pliers.
Yes, yeah. And you'll find if you make something like this, trust me, you will know exactly where to hit your pliers to get
trial and error.
Yeah. It's so I've gone over. There we go.
Just need to quickly and very subtly let you know, but you know, with some alarm at this stage, if everyone that checks out on their kit, we only have a handful left. Just to let you know, I won't curtail Claire's demo at any point, I promise you, because we at the 7 o'clock hour it sold out within 7 minutes, the kit, and we didn't see a lot of demos, so I'm certainly up for making up for that this time around. So I do urge you just to make sure you check out your baskets on that one.
So I'm going to just finish that off. So all I did, to finish off that little component, I've just done exactly the same on the other side, and I'm going to go in and just trim that off. So I tend to do all these little bits And so I've got a good stash there of that component. Okay, so in the same way that I would make all of these bits, I'd then move on to just threading on my pearls, and then move on to doing that second wrap loop at the top. So you've got all your little components like that. Now, if you wanted to, and you're going to make everything out of your pearl wire, for ease, I'm going to use some of the jump rings that we've got, and I've got a 6mm jump ring there. You could go in, because you've got your 1mm pearl wire, and I'd probably say to do it in the 1mm. I think that'd be, it's a good gauge to do it in, because it's lovely soft wire, that is. So you could do it in your pearl coloured. So I've got my openable jump rings. So if I just pop those there.
Okay. Other than people who have this in basket, one more order and I'm going to start being oversubscribed for the kit, just so that you know. And again, just a very, very quick reminder, and I'm so sorry, Claire, to do this, but it's fine. The pearls alone, we split them out of the kit and looked at the item number, and actually just the element of the pearls alone in this kit would be retailed on its own for $99.95 is the indication I got from Phil earlier. So regardless of the pearl coloured wire, the French wire that comes in this kit, which of course you need oodles of that in this, the pearls alone will be sold for $99.95, which is why that web price comes out at a total of £141.09. So to get all of this $89.95, and I think a lot of people have spotted there, it's almost like a chink in our armour, if you like, that we have taken that total price so low and people are just snapping it up. And I don't blame you. One more confirmation, and I will be technically oversubscribed for those people who've committed to it in their basket. Can I ask you, please, 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 and I try not to nag about this, it drives me mad hearing nagging about this, but please do check out your basket. It's more important tonight, I think, with these kits than at probably any time that I've been here before, in all seriousness. In your copper wire, by the way, in the pearl coloured wire, you're getting 10 metres of your 1mm gauge, 20 metres of your 0.4 and 10 metres of your 0.8. Remember, you've got your French wire as well, which is in 3 different gauges, which is fantastic. 20 pieces of the 1mm gauge, I think it's 20 pieces of the 0.9, and you're getting 55 pieces of the smallest gauge, which, forgive me, is a it's a 0.6 in your French wire, and of course, that's all coiled up and gizmoed beautifully. So where it's 12 inches long, actually I should have measured the total, because that's
yeah, you might have been there a while.
Around the studio twice, I think, isn't it?
Definitely.
Anyway, sorry. Right, let's get back to it.
So we've made all our components that we need. So we've got our jump rings that we would have so that they're open. We've got our little our connectors there, so we're ready to go now. And I think it's a good to just so you're not sort of doing like a stop start to get a good a good amount of these. So my starting point would be, so I've got my jump ring. Now what I want to do is I want to add on 6 of these. So I'm just going to pop them in. So I've got 1, 2, and I would be, and I'm standing up now. And now at home I would be sitting down and resting my elbows with this, just because you're going to be using your pliers quite a bit, and it's to have a think about, you want jewellery making to be pleasurable, not sort of stress out different parts of your body. So really rest your elbows if you need to. So I've got 2, 4, 5, so I need 1 more on there. So I then close that up. So remember, we open and close our jump rings like a gate. So I'm going to close that now. So when I put that down, and it's really quite important, and I think you'll find, unless I don't think it was just me, but what I had to really be careful of at times when I was starting to link, I would sometimes, that would have crossed over and it looked like it was absolutely fine, but always have like give it a little bit of a wiggle so that they sit, so that you are connecting the right.
So you're in the right order.
Yeah. So I've got that's my starting point. Yeah, so I've got the 6 on there. So now what I need to think is, I'm going to add in some more. So I'm going to go to the end of 1. So I know now I'm going to add in 3 there, and I'm just going to start to build it that way. Usually you would have, on every jump ring, you're going to have 6. But if we just start off, and I'll put 3 on there so we can see how it builds up. So I've got my 3 on there, so I'm going to close that. So again, it's going to, you know, wiggle a little bit and it might come out of shape. So again, so we'll just get that in the right position. And I found that the little, you know, the little T-pins, they were very useful. So that one now is going to go there, and that one's going to go there. So again, I'm going to pick up my jump ring again and start to add in. So it's up to you whether you choose to think of them as little triangles, and you'll be able to see this as I start to get a bit more of the pattern. So where am I now? Right, so there we go. So that one's actually going to sit in there. Okay, so can you see how it starts to build up? So on this next one, I'm going to add in another one. So I need to pop those 2 together and next to each other. So I'm going to start to add in there. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then my next one along will be 3. So if you can, and it doesn't confuse you, you could just add in your 6 at a time. I don't want to get confused at the moment because I'm not terribly good at patterns. It's we had like a challenge show where I've never done chainmail before, and I had to learn chainmail in, well, it was about a week or so. And you know, patterns are, you need to get your head in the right. I find I have to clear my head, which is not always the easiest thing to do. So starting to see, so you can see how it's starting to build up. So where am I there? So that one into there and that one there. But you can see how it's just very, very repetitive of building these up. So if I pop that one in there and that one, so they're connected. So I now need one more on that one and pop it on. So we'll see. And some of it was a little bit, when I started to get the, I wanted to get a bit more of the angles, and certainly at the top of the piece, I had to just sort of wing it a little bit and have a couple of attempts of getting the right balance. So this one here we'll bring in and connect in like that. So okay, another one. But you can see already, you know, how fluid this is. So if we have a look there. So my last one, let's see how we're doing. So that one's going to attach in there. So if I reopen that one. So if you add in your 6 at a time, you're not going to have to keep going in and opening and closing your jump rings. But so you've got your little pattern like so. Okay, so we've got our other one here. So you're going to start to build up. So if I had, let's have a look. So I'll start to bring out. So what I'll start to do is I'll start to add in now. So like I say, if when you're getting fully confident, you can add in, every time you open and close your jump ring, you're just going to add in the 6. So I've got 3 already in there, so I'll pop another 3 on, and we can start to see how we build up that pattern. So again, if I put it down, so we just check that they're in the right place. Again, bring them out. So now I'd be starting to, you can see, so I need to start to bring in another one there, and I've got my jump ring here. So if we open this one up, so what I'm going to do is, now I know I've got 3 already on that one, and I've got one that's ready to join its friends over here. So I'll pop that one on, but I might as well just pop in another 2, because I always know that I need 6 on each. So I'll just keep them out of the way, but I know that I'm going to use those later because we want that 6. So again, keep them out so that they're all ordered, but that then comes in. So my next one, I'll pick that up we'll start to add in. So you can see how that's starting to build up. So I've got 1, 2. So all the time, you're just adding in more and more. So I just bring that on, and it will start to, and that's what I mean. If you you can pin it out. So as it starts to get a little bit bigger, you might want to pin out. So you can, and it'll get to, because when it's all sort of sitting and it's got the weight of all the others, that's when you really start to see the pattern forming. So if we bring out, so you can see how quickly that would start to build up. So to finish the, what I'd want to do is, so if I was looking at that, I'd be thinking, right, so on this row, I might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on there. So this next one, I'm going to have 1 less, and going down like that. So it's always going to sort of go down, and that's where it tapers down into that point. And for me, I just found it easier to then start thinking about it as, rather than the 6, almost like the snowflake, that's where I started to see it as little triangles. So I could add in like that, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So can you see, it's maybe not the most riveting.
You're finding a pathway down
Yeah.
to create the shape that you want,
Yes.
but using the same shape as the basis, I guess,
Yes.
and then adapting that as you go down.
So you can see as I'm going down. So
That's
I can
fabulous.
just keep going.
Can I just double check where we are, Daniel? Because I can see producer Daniel there is just riveted, as we all are, with the demonstration here. Okay, again, we're in the same situation that we were in with our first kit this evening. We do have more people with this in baskets than we actually have kits available. So I'm going to have to ask those people who've got this in their basket. I'm sorry. I know. I just don't want you to miss out on it. Remember, the pearls alone, the 5 metres of pearls, would ordinarily be retailed at £99.95, just the pearls on their own, minus the 40 metres of the copper wire and all of the French wire there as well that you have got. So you will need to check out, because every time someone else comes in on the telephone lines, of course, that's the potential that you will lose your place in actually securing that kit. So good luck to you, because I mean, again, if we take a look at the sort of the final, the piece, the finished piece that Claire's demo is kind of building up to, it's just, I mean, it's spectacular. And of course, if you want to adapt that in any way, of course, Claire is here to show you the methods and, to show you her interpretation of this method. You might have different ideas. You might want to take it off in different directions. You might want something that's slightly more scaled down, as Claire was talking about before. You might just want to start and then stop at a certain point and just bring it around. Of course, I think that's spectacular. I mean, I really do. And again, you can see it's one of those things that when you get into it as well, it's very, very easy, once you've secured it, to start seeing that shape building up. See, now I'm seeing what you have there on the board. I'm sure you've got the same thing in mind right now, but down here on the board with Claire, you can see now that it would take, what, 2 links, and we would have a heart shape there, wouldn't we?
Yes, yeah, that's right, yeah. But you can see already, so this is like a mini version of, so to have that little, if you were going to do like a much smaller little bib shape, so you'd have your, we'd have our 1 here, so how many have we got on this one? 1, 2, we've got 6 there. So we'd have 1 more jump ring there, that would connect here. So we've got 4 there, and so you'd start to see, so as it would jump down, so we'd have our 4 jump rings, 3 jump rings, 2 jump rings, 1 jump ring, and it's going to taper like that. So another little thing, I found that sometimes it's having the confidence as well. Sometimes I just wouldn't want to pick it up, because I'd be thinking, where have I got to? So if you pick it up and it suddenly looks like a mess of a, just take it really slowly, just pop it back down, make sure that they're all, in the right, that they're not crossed over like that. Just take it nice and slowly, get it back how it was, and just always think about those little triangles. Of your 3, you always want that. So, and off each jump ring, if it's a central one, you want those six sort of prongs points coming off.
And I guess if you're at that kind of point anyway, you would use those T-pins to secure one point, and that would keep you roughly on the right track anyway, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's it.
Because you'd have enough to play with to be able to pick up and move your jump rings around and add your links as well.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's very therapeutic to watch.
It is. I
very
found
calm.
it's very. I think it's really important if you get all your components ready and sorted, and then you just sort of you know, relax into it and just go with the flow, rather than you know, every time you place one, then you've got to stop and you've got to make another component. So have everything ready, everything ready to go, and then you're ready.
And you could listen to some lovely music in the background
It'd be
while
good,
you're enjoying it.
You could listen to Firestarter, couldn't you?
Yeah, or a bit of Olivia Newton-John, maybe.
God, yeah.
Banks of the Ohio.
Yeah.
I just need to speak to people again, and I'm so sorry. You know how I hate doing this. I hate doing this, as you know. But talking about web baskets, I've got about 20-something of you who have this in baskets right now. If I can ask you to check out as quickly as you possibly can, it's just that we're getting a lot of pressure through the call centre as well to actually have those allocations for the telephone lines, and I don't want you missing out if you're via the web. You listen. The whys and wherefores of all this business, I don't know. I just know that if you want this kit and you want to secure it right now, the best way to do it is to check it out, and then it's guaranteed. It's bought and paid for, done and dusted. That's it. No one can take it away from you. Which is brilliant. Let me just remind you of what's in this kit. It is extraordinary value for £89.95. When the pearl element of this alone, we did actually do the costing on the 5 metres of pearls that you're getting with this. We've never seen them outside of a kit, but if we were doing this as a bundle on its own, the 5 metres of pearl, it would be costed at £99.95. Just, for that pearl element of it. Your copper wire is your pearl coloured copper wire, 40 metres off as well, which is brilliant. So 10 metres of the 1 mil, 20 metres of the 0.4, 10 metres of the 0.8, plus those 3 different gauges of French wire as well. Sorry, Mike, I say one thing. I'm trying to catch up with Mike. It's like we're working against each other without knowing it. It's one of those. No, it's all fine. But you do get the French wire in 3 different gauges as well. So you get 20 pieces of the 12-inch length of the silver-plated 1mm French wire. You get 20 meters of the 0.9 French wire, which is in 12-inch lengths. And you've got 55, I've maybe taken a couple away, actually, and lost a couple along the way as well. But 55 lengths of your 12-inch 0.6 silver-plated French wire. And a partridge in a pear tree. Fantastic, £89.95. They are all but gone. Thank you as well, because I think as well, when you get this kit home, you match it up with the photos that you'll find on Facebook. You'll come back to the YouTube video of today's show and skittle through the first 3 hours of, well, just quite frankly, giggling. That's all it is. Like 2 giggling girls we've been tonight, all the way through the show. But then you'd stop on the last hour and you pick up that technique again and adapt it many different ways. And it doesn't have to be with pearls. You can use that technique with any kind of round gemstones that you want to, really. But it works particularly well with these black pearls, and black pearls have that association and a value perception as well. So for £89.95, it is just superb. I can see my list of people with this in baskets getting even bigger, by the way. It'll be very soon that I'm going to have to say sorry to someone, and I don't want to anyone. Right, thank you, Claire, but you're staying with me, aren't you, all the way through to the end. I'm going back to my naughty step over there because it's time for one of these. All righty. We have one of the most treasured gemstones on this planet right now from the Beryl family. That's a tall order as well, actually, because in the Beryl family comes the emerald. So actually, you know, to talk about gems being prized from that family, what I see when I see aquamarine jewellery being sold out in the big, wide world today, is it saddens me in a way, and that's because I know a little bit about gemstones. In fact, I know a lot about gemstones, dealing with them almost exclusively for the last sort of 10 years. But aquamarine, there is quite a lot of material available out there in the marketplace right now, which is kind of that colour, the colour of the white walls behind me, that has no essence of colour in it whatsoever. What I would say is, if you see aquamarine jewellery, please, I mean, go for what your heart loves, go for what you absolutely love to see, but please take aquamarine with some colour in it, because this is delicious. It's amazing material, it looks phenomenal, and it's got an amazing clarity going all of the way through it. It's 40 carats, and these are faceted wheels. We were talking about the wonder of wheels in gemstones earlier, weren't we, when we saw the amethyst strand earlier. Again, it gives you a gemstone which sits so beautifully one next to the other. It gives you a flat surface to work with. There aren't many gemstone cuts that allow you that. A lot of them, you kind of have to, because they are rounded in some way, be it, you know, even a pear cut, or, you know, a briolette or whatever. Sitting them together, you know, you have to manage that, or you have to space it out in through your design. With wheels, you can butt them up together, and they can all be nice and close, which means you can create some just immense looks. Some immense looks. This is such a lovely strand, I have to say. I do love aquamarine. It does get a little bit overlooked, I think, and I think partly some of the reason for that is that there is so much poor quality material in the market at the moment that people are kind of walking away from it, because they almost say to themselves, well, if there's that little colour in that aquamarine, in that jewellery that I see on the high street, I may as well go for a white gemstone. What's the difference? But there is something so soft and delicate about aquamarine that really does need to be enjoyed. I love the description, and it's quite a common description that you hear about aquamarine. It's almost you imagine that you're sailing on your own yacht, naturally, in the Mediterranean somewhere, and you've got the sunlight just dancing off the waves, and the reflection that gives you back up from the waves themselves. That's aquamarine, captured forever. Hence the name. Aqua, water, marine, water. There's a bit of sense in that, isn't there? Has been 40 carats, has been £57.95. I'm not surprised, as I say, it's in some respects, by some collectors, it's more highly prized in the beryl family than the emerald, funnily enough, which you think could never really be, but it absolutely is. Collectors will trip over each other to collect good quality aquamarine, and this is amazing aquamarine. So from 57, see, these days prices don't go down, do they? And if they do, you think, oh, is that it? Why did you bother? Do you know what I mean? But 57 to 42.95. Now that makes it a heck of a lot more appealing and easier to reach out and touch. Oh, that sounds like a song, doesn't it? 42.95. There's another one for your earworm, Claire. You must know that one. Bit of Diana Ross, reach out and touch. Look at that. £42.95. 0800 644 655. I'm just thinking one of those, if you're making jewellery for someone who's truly treasured in your life, you know, mother, sister, partner, whatever it may be, I think aquamarine's a perfect, I don't want to say love gemstone, because I don't like the pictures that necessarily conjures up, but you know, for someone that you really, really cherish, I think aquamarine is just perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful, serene gemstone. Yeah, it is.
It is
and you know how you sort of saying some people like about not having like a definite colour. I mean, that strand is a definite blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a definite blue.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which is why I've put it against the white surface there, because there's a lot of aquamarine out there, you know, in circulation. That's, I mean, honestly, you'd have more blue in your front room window glass. Do you know what I mean? Which then negates the point of it being aquamarine. because it could be any white gemstone then, couldn't it? You know, and I'm not dissing white gemstones at all, they're all beautiful, but aquamarine is a premium gemstone. You buy it for its beautiful optical properties because it dazzles back at you. That's why people love and treasure. And it comes from the excuse me, comes from the same gemstone family as your emerald, and that's why people love it. Quite rightly as well. That's wonderful. Well done, congratulations. Got lots of people in there. Can we take that tanzanite strand there? Because it's 1:45 now. We can do that now, could we? Let's do that now. Have we got any... Is it starboard? Well, we don't need to worry about that. Do we need to do that? Yeah, well... It's all right. It's fine. We've only got a quarter of an hour left, haven't we? Let's break the rules there yet again. Why not? We've been doing it all night. I've spent 8 hours on air, all told, on Immediate's channels breaking rules all day. 4 hours on the sewing quarter this morning. You should have seen what I did. Have you ever heard of a charm pack, Claire?
A charm pack?
Right, it's a fabric thing where you get a stack of 5-inch by 5-inch squares. It's for making quilts and things like that.
Right.
Well, they're all the 100 charm layers of this 5 by 5 fabric, all sort of layered in different colours and whatever. And I just sort of cut it like a deck of cards. I sort of pulled one and then moved the rest underneath. Well, honestly...
Is that not done?
Yeah, well, my producer was most perturbed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was like breaking the fabric law.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So actually what we've
Did
got
you
away
put it
with...
back how it...
No, I just carried on cutting it again and again. And the more hilariously antagonised she became. It was funny. Anyway, let's do some tanzanite now. I don't deliberately antagonise producers. I think it just happens as a byproduct of my naivety sometimes. Do you know what I mean? I am just this 12-year-old boy. No matter how old I am, in my head, I am just this naughty 12-year-old boy that says that if you say don't touch, is like, you know what, if you hadn't have said don't touch it, I wouldn't have touched it. But now you've told me not to, I'm afraid I've got to. Anyway, tanzanite. Do I need to tell you a tanzanite story? Probably not. You've probably heard it backwards, forwards, upside down, 3 or 10,000 times. And apparently it's 10,000 times rarer than diamond, did you know, tanzanite? Do you know, all I want to know about tanzanite is it a good colour? That's all I want to know. I don't want to know the ins and outs of A grading or, you know, dye-fality or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in, does it look unmistakably, or unmistakably, whichever the word is, tanzanite? And you would never miss that for another gemstone, would you? You would never.
It's a fabulous colour.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Love it. Beautiful. And I love tanzanite because, I mean, again, a lot of people when they show you tanzanite won't kind of show you it from certain angles because low-grade tanzanite, if you have it set in a stone, for instance, and you tilt it almost sideways, so you're looking across the stone, it's like the colour all drops out if the tanzanite isn't good quality. Excuse me. Now, if you look at the shape of these stones, well, there's nowhere to hide. There is nowhere to hide because the light comes in from here and here and here and here and here and here and up here and everywhere, every direction. So if that stone has no colour, in fact, if anything, on strands like this, you need a better grade of tanzanite than you would actually set into a piece of jewellery because the backdrop of the sterling silver setting or whatever it may be actually intensifies the colour of the tanzanite a little bit. When you're selling a strand like this, which is open stones, actually you can't get away with anything that is, you know, low-grade material because it will end up looking like, if it's low-grade material, it'll look more like the colour of, you know, of our aquamarine even. Sounded like Arkwright there for a second, didn't I? Granville? Anyway, you knew where I was getting to. This is a very, very long strand as well. As you can see, it's a 38 centimetre strand. I'm guessing, Daniel, and I'm only guessing at the price here, but I would happily, I think for that one, give you somewhere between, I don't know, I'm thinking £80 to £100 for a strand like this. I'm thinking £80 to £100. Because of the sheer amount of stones that you've got here to work with, I mean, there are just loads. Wowzers. That is good. That is good. I've already got collectors who, excuse me, have taken that. I've got windy pops tonight, so I think I need the cowpole out again as well. I usually only have wind when De Bruges is here.
Do you?
I don't know what you've done to me tonight, Claire. But you've given me wind somehow. Not quite sure how. To get the gripe water out. It's all fine. $59.95. Might not be your fault. It might just be circumstance.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. $59.95 for that big tanzanite strand, and I love it. It's such good quality tanzanite. Again, this could be what I call, you know, when we have this in the fabric world as well, this could just be a looker. It means you just get it and you have it. You don't you sort of had half an idea what you might do with it when you ordered it. When you got it home, you think, oh, I haven't got the heart to even cut the strand yet.
I have lots and lots of looker strands. Yeah. I just think they're lovely as they are. You don't have to make something.
Yeah, no, lookers are the best ones actually. Just to say, I've got some. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hear all these scare stories from people saying, oh, hang on, last 10 years of tanzanite and whatever, da-da-da-da-da. Rubbish. I have no idea when the last piece of tanzanite will be mined. Who knows? And quite frankly, who cares? Let's just get the best we can right now. But, you know, let's say 30 years down the line, we are looking at only very, very, very light tanzanite available. And you kind of look back at a time, because I look back at 10 years of selling jewellery and I think, oh my word, why didn't I buy high-grade tanzanite set into jewellery when I first started working for Gems TV in 2007? I should have been buying the jewellery that I was selling back then, because actually if I wanted a good collection of amazing stones, it's not about worth or value or anything like that. I'm not there to sort of speculate and go, oh, I've got a nice collection in my safe for an auction one day. But it's just to be able to say, I was there in the moment when the good quality material was still around and it was still at reasonable prices and everything else. You will look back on a day where as jewellery makers now, you will look back on a day, and it might be decades from now, who knows, but when you look back and you go, oh, actually, I do remember when we used to have some really, really good quality amethyst, when it had some colour to it, when it had some personality to it, when it had that wonderful pleocroism going through it. Right, shall we? Oh, no, I haven't got, the only problem is, Daniel, I haven't got the 9 o'clock boxes. But I will have in just a second, because lovely lit, because I'm going to have a little dip. Oh, have I got time to do just one more? I'll have a little dip into that one then. Leave that one, Leah, and I'll just have a little dip into that one. Let's go for, what's number 22, Daniel? Perfect, let's have that. Some shaded zircon, let's have that then. So we'll move on from the tanzanite. Well done to our collectors that have that. We've only got a couple of minutes left actually. So let's do our shaded zircon. I love zircon. Delicious gemstone. Another gemstone that's only really starting to get its recognition right now, because a lot of designs are having their accent stones made of white zircon. Of course, we've got the Cambodian blue zircon, which is coming through, and these are some of the other shades of zircon, the lovely brandies, the almanacs, the cinnamon tones coming through, and they are delicious. And again, this will be the next kind of scarcity, like the Ratnakiri zircon from Cambodia. Straight down on this one. It'll be the last strand that we're doing tonight. Thank you so much for your company. I'm not going yet though, so stay where you are. Don't go yet. We've got to go and say goodbye to Claire yet. She's still there. $34.95. Oh yes, we've got to have another flash of your rainbow as well, Miss Unicorn. Fantastic. It's in big demand, Claire. Quick flash of your rainbow.
Oh yeah, you can see it, can't you?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing how vivid the colours are. I love it. Hannah says, Derek Marks and Claire Macdonald, what a combo.
Oh, it's guest designer, not guest designer, presenter Hannah.
Present, and she's back. Is that her first shift back?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Hannah.
Love you, Hannah.
At last, they've got the professionals coming back. Hooray, they won't need to call in desperation to this amateur here. I'll go over now, shall I? I'll go over. Come on then. Come on then, show us your rainbow. That's not an offer you get very often on a Saturday night, is it?
Yeah. Do you want to see it from the front or the back?
Let's do a.
Should we see all of it?
I love that. It's delicious, isn't it? And all of the colours are there, and so vividly. It's stunning. Did you have the idea to have it done like that, or is it just something that salon was doing, or did you think?
No, I've seen it a lot on the internet. It's like a newish. Yeah, craze.
It's good. It's quite clever as well, actually, because it's really defined stripes of the colour as well. It's lovely.
But it's still sort of
on trend.
allowed at work. It's a bit like the nail varnish. So,
Yeah, because you can sort of keep it subtly there in the background,
Yeah.
but, you know, everyone
But then,
notices
yeah.
it. And it looks good, it looks sophisticated as well. There's a danger sometimes that when you add just a little bit of colour, I said this earlier, didn't I? If you add a little bit of colour sometimes, there's a danger that that can look just a little bit odd. But that looks really nice because it sits in, you know, it's a well-coloured hairstyle anyway. And then just adding those stripes of
thank you.
style, it works.
Well,
It works.
Thanks.
£34.95 for your shaded zircon going on here. Your graduated plain pairs. I can't believe that we're nearly out of time tonight. We've got 30 seconds left. So thank you to our wonderful team who've all worked incredibly hard tonight as well. They really have.
Brilliant team.
Love to all of them. I will be back on the 15th and 16th, which I think is a couple of weekends' time for the whole weekend. I think for the mid-show possibly, or maybe the late show. I'll keep in touch via Facebook. When are you back, Claire?
I'm back a week today on the late.
Fantastic. So next Saturday night. Whatever you do for the rest of your Saturday night, have a wonderful time. Lots of love from everyone here. And don't forget, we're back live tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bye-bye.